All right, I'm back, chat. I'm back. We're back for Applied Digital Earnings. Should be coming out here in like an hour, and then we'll check out the earnings call. Should be a good time. Should be a good time. I'm excited for it. Last time APLD, I think last year the APLD stream was our biggest stream of the year, so I'm excited for this one. Let's see if it repeats, let's see if the hype's still there. There's a lot of hype on this last, a lot of mixed hype. There's a lot of bearish people, a lot of bullish people. So, but I'll be curious if people are still, looking on this stock, which they should be. It's still up pretty massive. You're up basically 10x in the past like 8-9 months. So I wouldn't see why people wouldn't be excited about this, but I guess we'll find out, huh? I guess we'll find out. Seems like this stock has a weird like cult following because you don't really have anyone like talking about it. It's just the people who have already made money from it, or maybe they're shorting it. I don't know. But I guess let's go through some tabs while we wait, see what's up. Gamestop sold off quite a bit from the high of today. Can't believe you hit 22 today though. Pretty impressive. You have Tilray earnings tomorrow, which I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't know if Tilray is really that hype or not. I guess we'll find out. I think there's a lot of hype around weed stocks right now, but I don't know. I really don't pay attention to weed stocks. I don't find them good investments. I don't even think any of them are profitable, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even think any of them are profitable, so not the best. Healthcare leading the way today, and communications. Navan? Navan? What's that? Navan? $4.5 billion market cap? What is this? The big insider buy off that. It just IPO'd October. What is this? Navan. I'm not interested in IPOs, but I do just want to look at this real quick. $1.7 billion. Oh, this is actually really interesting. Kind of. $1.2 billion stockholder equity. I don't know what this is, but kind of interesting. Big insider buy on it. Brand new IPO though. Not something I would really be looking for, but I mean, you can't deny those insider buys. Those are pretty massive. All right. I don't think there's any whales. No. What's up, Moose? Welcome back. Welcome back. Hopefully the APLD earnings is a good stream again. That would be nice. That'd be helpful. Trump says U.S. to ban large investors from buying homes. Ooh, I mean, I don't know if that's really a good thing, but Trump said the U.S. should bar large institutional investors from buying single-family homes, arguing that corporate ownership has helped push housing further out of reach for everyday Americans. Long time, buying and owning a home was considered the pinnacle of the American dream. It was the reward for working hard and doing the right thing. But now, because of record high inflation caused by Biden and the Democrats, the American dream is increasingly out of reach for far too many people. Let's see. It is for that reason and much more that I am immediately taking steps to ban large institutional investors from buying more single-family homes, and I will be calling on Congress to codify it. People live in homes, not corporations. Interesting. Private equity giants, real estate investment trusts, and other large institutional investors have amassed sizable portfolios of single-family rental homes over the past decade. Many have argued that these investments have reduced housing supply for would-be homeowners and helped drive up prices. Invitation Homes, which is the largest renter of single-family homes in the country, tumbled 7%, blah, blah, blah. Trump did not provide details for how the ban would be implemented. Okay, so it's just an idea, I guess. Just an idea. Still can't stop laughing about the 100 billion market cap aspirations. I think it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting. Definitely interesting. What's up, Marius? Short APLD again. Good luck, bro. Good luck. Good luck. You actually already caught a decent gain on that. It's already down quite a bit going into the earnings. Well, at least from 31, I guess. God, they're like doing construction in my neighborhood. It's so fucking loud. I hope you guys can't hear it. It's so loud, though. And it's so annoying. I literally got woke up at like 8 a.m. just loud-ass construction. I'm like, bruh, come on. Come on. Alaska Airlines to buy more than 100 Boeing jets. Biggest order ever. Trump says he will not permit dividends and stock buybacks for defense companies. ICE agents fatally shoot woman. Jesus. Good Lord. MSTR jumps 7% after MSCI decides against excluding Bitcoin treasury firms. Huh. Arby's launches massive meat and 3 value box. Arby's. We have the meat. We already looked at all those. South Park trailer for Fortnite is leaked. Enjoy Discord while you can? What does that mean? Oh. Because of the IPO. People think it's going to turn into trash when it goes public, probably, which is a possibility. No news, and then that, yeah. No news for like 6 months. I wouldn't even count the earnings as news because the earnings was kind of trash. So literally nothing for like 6, 7, 8 months, and then boom, compensation package, 100 billion market cap target. Like what? What? That's a 10x from here. What are we doing? What are we doing? Yesterday gain was 135 minus the cost of shorting. It costs you money to short? I didn't know that. Maybe to hold the short? In the US, you can just short. I don't think you pay anything. I've never paid anything on... Well, usually the shorts I do were day trades, but I've never paid anything for shorting. But Merger on my mind. I got merger on my mind. I got mergers on my mind. Yeah, there was that Reddit post where they were talking about how certain businesses can increase the EBITDA even though they're lower margin businesses. I don't know. Like, we'll see, man. We'll see. Obviously, they see something that we don't see because 100 billion market cap was not in my bingo card, at least for another like 15, 20 years. That seems, if they think it's going to happen sooner, I mean, God is good, bro. God is good if they think it's going to happen sooner. Nico's a robotic lift for people with limited mobility that doesn't require a caregiver. Ubisoft shutting down a studio 16 days after it was unionized. Robotic sneakers. Samsung says RAM costs will likely lead to price hikes soon. Oh, they released that Sony car at that CES thing. A lot of interesting. A lot of things got unveiled at that CES 2026. Maybe I should have watched that whole thing. I didn't even know that was going on. It seems like it could be a good watch. A lot of interesting technology. maybe Friday, we'll see. Maybe Friday, we'll see. Top selling new game on Steam is this open world co-op factory builder. Star Rupture? Is that the game? Star Rupture. Music!
I am Gal, your galactic assistance liaison.
That looks kind of cool. I want to see gameplay. I want to go on YouTube here. Whoops. What was it called? Star Rapture or something? Star Rapture? Star Rupture. I want to see if anyone's streaming it, see what it's like.
I would say it's like having another producer in the room that knows exactly what your song needs. This is co-producer.
Storage depot, not storage depots, orbital corridors.
Yo, this looks kind of sick. It's like first-person StarCraft or some shit. That looks pretty cool.
The Selenium Corp, I feel like, is the best.
Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Sorry, I haven't looked at the chat in a second. Let's see. Stop loss again, break even. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough trade because on earnings. This thing can literally move like $5 in a second. It's gonna be a tough trade. But you're already crushing on the trade. You don't even have to do the earnings play unless you want to risk it. Friday, I heard tariffs might get repealed. I don't know how that's even happened. I haven't seen anything on that. I don't really pay attention to that stuff, so I'm probably a bad person to ask. I can only short CFDs, and I don't want to buy puts. CFDs I can close after hours. That's weird. And in America, you can just short the shares and not pay anything. Maybe if you hold the position for a certain amount of time or it's large enough, maybe they would charge you, but I've never had to pay shorting things. I figured on my deathbed I'd see 1K per share I'd sell. Nah. You gotta save those for the baby moomas. The little moomas. I might close before close, to be honest. Good profit. Hey, it's up to you, bro. You do your thing. You can always close like a good majority of it and then, you know, keep some for a YOLO. But it's up to you, my friend. It's up to you. CS is fire. It's where all tech companies reveal stuff like their World's Fair. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that. I probably won't watch it on... Maybe I'll watch it after the stream. I don't know. Depends how long it is. I'll check it out. First time I've seen something like that. I've never seen CES. Seen the game on award thing. I want to see if there's a new monitor tech out. I want an OLED 4K monitor without paying 1K plus. Good luck. Good luck. Like anything tech is so fucking expensive nowadays, it seems like. Can you close shorts after hours? Yeah, you can. My cap is small, so I don't have all the shiny stuff. Yeah, maybe you just have different rules. I don't remember where you're from, but maybe it's just different rules for different countries or different stock markets, I guess I should say. Lithuania. Ah, yeah, see, I wouldn't know anything about what's going on there. No way. No way. Global stream. We global. We global, chat. We're global. What are we going to do for 45 minutes? Can't close stock positions after hours. That's weird. Not even like on the S&P? Because the S&P should be 24-hour trading. You can't even do it on that? That's weird. So yeah, you're like, man, yeah, that's weird. I didn't know that. Because there are certain stocks that aren't like 24-hour trading, but you should still be able to buy back in after hours. I guess not. That's weird. I'm always intrigued with the amount of out-of-country investors. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot more foreign people in the stream than Americans. Americans don't want to invest, bro. They want to go vape and fucking... What else do Americans do besides vape? They want to vape. That's what Americans want to do. They don't want to get rich. They just want to vape and mukbang. I don't mean anyone mukbanging. I don't know anyone who mukbanging, but literally everyone fucking vapes, I swear. I swear literally every person I know vapes. I ain't even capping. It's actually crazy. I did it. You closed out. Nice. Nice. Just don't be upset if it keeps going down, you know, be okay with the decision. That's all I can say. Because a lot of people close out their positions like that, and then they get all butthurt if it keeps going. And I've been there, but I don't really understand that mindset. You should be happy about your profits you get out of the market. You know, there's been times I wasn't happy with my profits, and then they go away. They don't last very long, usually. The market tends to humble you pretty quick. Super happy, nice, good. APLD's about to fly, maybe. It could keep selling off. It's already up a lot, and you've rejected 30 multiple times, or higher 30s, I guess I should say. So, probably a pivotal earning. Why do I keep saying pivotable? I don't know why I keep saying that. Probably a pivotal earnings for APLD. Probably pretty pivotal for them. APLD permable. 2 mins before close, there was a 0.4 single order. I don't know what you mean by that, I don't think. Oh, you mean like the stock moved 0.4 in one fucking candle? Okay, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Yeah, it's a volatile stock. Very volatile. How come I haven't gotten my... I haven't got the thing for APLD's earnings call yet. I'm still waiting on that. I'm gonna do something real quick. Need to check something here. Need to check 1 2 here. Check 1 2. Hopefully this is a good stream. I love when the earnings streams blow up and there's just like hundreds of people here and you get to see all the interesting opinions. It's always fun. It's always fun. There's a lot of opinions out there. A lot of opinions out there. Get a poll question? Alright, I'll start a poll. What should it be? What price will APLD be after earnings? And I'm gonna do 4 options. I'll do 40. I'll do 35. I'll do 30. And I'll do 25. I wish I could do one more, but I can only do 4, so. What price will APLD be after earnings? 40, 35, 30, 25. Okay. I think that's a decent poll. That's a decent pull. A pull. He said pull. He said pull. It's a pull. He's got a pull. What the fuck? He said pull. Gammon. Okay. There's that. You ever buy a pole? He said pole. Let's see. This is my 6th or 7th short. Wow. 3 buy positions. All on APLD? You've just been swinging APLD? It's pretty interesting. Chat loves the poll. Make it controversial. A lot. I mean, so far, well, there's only 2 votes. There's only 2 votes, so. Profit from APLD is 570. Some were small losses, some were 0, some were 100, 200. That's good, bro. That's good. You know how to manage your risk. You know how to trade properly. Not a lot of people know how to do that, so you should be, in my opinion, you should be proud of those trades. A lot of people don't know how to manage risk like that, so from my perspective, that's awesome. I just threw $100 into my Roth IRA. Now I got 100 shares of GME in my Roth IRA. I'm so cool, bro. I am so sick, dude. Fucking sick, dog. 100 shares in my Roth IRA, baby. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking around. I don't really give a shit. I didn't think it's that high. I mean, that's solid. What is that? Like a week or 2, 3 of trading? How long have you been trading the stock? Like, that's solid. That's solid, bro. Some people lose $500 in a week on one trade. You know? Some people lose $500 on one fucking trade. On one option trade. It's like a weekly. Alrighty. We got some votes coming in. Some bearish people coming in. Maybe I shouldn't, I don't think I can edit the poll. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. I should have only did 3. I should have did 30, 35, and 25. Because 40 is... That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. $10.13 was first trade. Oh, either way, that's still not bad. That's still not bad. I mean, to me, that just makes, you know, that shows me that you know how to manage your risk, so that's great. Back to July numbers. 31% short. Damn. Shame on whoever said it would go to 40. That was probably you. I feel like that was you. APLD's top 10 stocks I watch at the moment. Nice. Nice. I wish I could say I pay attention at all, because I really don't. Make sure you guys hit that like button. It says we got like 20 people in here and 2 likes. That doesn't add up. That doesn't add up. The math's not mathin' there. I'm gonna edit the poll real quick. I'm gonna edit it. Same question. I just don't want the 40 there. Oh. 35, 30, 25. I just want 3. That'll be good enough. I think that's better. $33, I think we'll see, not more. Bullish news. I mean, the option market's pricing in a $5 move, so you should see a $5 move in either direction. So, and usually the option market tends to be correct, so I would expect it to be a $5 move either which way. Or it stays flat, you know. It's always possible that it stays flat. I can't vote. There's no $40 option. Fair enough. It's BS $5? No, it's not BS. That's what the market, that's how the market works. It prices in the earnings move through the options. It's not just APLD, it's every stock in the stock market. You look at the calls and puts at the money, you add them together. That's your earnings move on every single stock going into earnings. So you can say it's BS, but it's not. It's not. And the stock's been trading at $30 for the past 5 days, or the past 5 trading days, basically. So it's either going to 35 or 25. But you also, you could argue, you definitely could argue that the move has already been made. It was trading at $25 at the end of the year, or the end of 2025, and then it's already gone up to 30. So you could say the move has already been made. It's definitely possible, but as of right now, the option market is pricing in $5 either which way. Don't look at day peaks. I wasn't. But trust me, Marius, I've been doing this a long time. I know this game very well. I've been watching options or earnings for years. It tends to play out exactly as the option market says it's going to. And, that's where the profitability lies in these earnings, is when it moves more than what the option market is expecting. If bearish, I'm taking if it's bearish, it's going down quick. It's going down quick. But we'll see. The option price is $5 move because the last peak was 35, but the day closed 32. I know. I disagree. You can literally go look at any stock on the stock market that's about to have earnings. I mean, the last stock we fucking did earnings on, Nike, literally did the exact, I think it did over, actually. No, it did the exact move. But I'm not basing my, that's not how options work. The peak was 3 months ago. The options today are weekly options pricing in a $5 move. Like, the peak is irrelevant. That's just what the, I don't know the math on options. I don't know fucking Black Scholes or whatever the hell it's called. But this is just how the market prices in these moves, is from options. Like, I can show you some examples. Well, it's tough to show past examples, but we talked about it in the Nike one. Why am I stream clapping? Why does my stream always do this? My stream is clapping. Come on, stream. Come back. Come back, stream. Are we back? Come on, stream. Don't lag out on me. Don't lag out on me. Are we back? Are we good? Damn, there's 30 people in the chat right now. That's crazy. Make sure you guys hit that like button. But, are we back? Can you guys hear me? I don't know what's going on here. But if we go APLD on options, and you go to the next week options, I think I showed this yesterday. Hello? Are we live? Are we good, chat? Can you guys hear me? We live? Okay. It fucking lagged out for a minute there. That was weird. But, yeah, you can see on APLD options, the 29.5 puts are $256. $30 calls are $260. You know, you add those together. That's a $5 move. You can also see it right here. It says 5.8 plus 5.8. That's what the option market thinks the stock is going to move. And you could do that for every month or every week. Like January 23rd option, it's expecting the stock to move $6 from, within 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If you go to the February ones, a month from now, the option market is pricing in a potential $10 move 2 months from now. Like, that's, it's the option market pricing in the future. And, we could do it for Tilray. Tilray's earnings are tomorrow. So Tilray's pricing in like nothing. Tilray's not even pricing in a move. Okay, there we go. What was that? That was a weird option chain. But you can see Tilray, the at the money puts are $50. The at the money calls are basically $70. You add those together. That's about a $1.02 move, which you'll probably see that. And then I remember, I can't show the example, but Nike on earnings a couple weeks ago, Nike was trading at, I forget the exact price it was trading at. It was trading at $66, and the at the money puts were kind of similar to APLD. I think it was like 2.5. The calls were like 2.5. So Nike was expected to move I think it was actually 7. I honestly don't remember off the top of my head. It might have been 5, and then it moved more. I really don't remember, actually. But it was pricing in like a $5, $6 move, and then, the earnings happened, and 66 to 58, that's over a $6 move, but the option market priced this in before it even happened. Whether it was going to go $6 up or $6 down, you can't really determine that, but that's, and this works for everything, not just earnings. Like if you go to GameStop right now and you go to GameStop's next week calls, GameStop's next week calls are pricing in a $1.50 move. $58 on the call side, $40 on the put side. You add those together. So GameStop, or the option market for GameStop, is expecting a $1.50 move the next week or two. And, you can go to the next month. It's pricing in about a $3 move for the next month or two. Like this is just options 101. I don't know if it's options 101, but the option market predicts what the stock is going to do within this time period. Every single time. And that's where that's where you can profit exponentially from options if the stock moves more than what the option market is producing, or what the option market thinks it's going to move. Because if the option, that's how you get those like 1,000% option plays, is because the market's pricing in one thing, but then an extreme happens, and then the option market has to reprice and readjust. That's how you get like 1,000% options and stuff like that. Because if you bet on an option and it just moves what is expected to move, you're probably not going to profit, most likely. So that's just that's how options work. Like options literally tell you the future of stocks, basically. And it's pretty fairly consistent all across the board. Like of course there's surprises, there was like Oracle not too long ago. I think, I don't remember the exact move, but Oracle was only pricing in like a 5-6% move, and then it ended up selling off like 12% or something like that. So, there was opportunity for a trade there, but you just can't pick the direction it's going. It's just there to give you an idea of what the volatility of the stock will be within that certain amount of time. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. I was thinking you mean one side $5. Well, it's going to go $5 either which way. It's either going to go $5 down or $5 up, or it's going to go $5 up and then, go back to the baseline, go $5 down, go back to the baseline. Like that's the volatility of, what it's pricing in. So it is $5 for one side, but you don't know which side the stock is going to go. That's the whole thing with earnings, is you can bet on it, but you don't know which way it's going to go. But like I said earlier, or like I was saying earlier, you were trading at $24 at the beginning of the year, or the end of the year. So you've already had a $5 move. You were trading at $24 on December 31st, and you've gone up, $5 in 4 or 5 days. So that option move could have already happened, basically, if that makes sense, because it's not guaranteed. It could still go up $5 or go back to 24, like it's, but there is some relevance into a pre-earnings move. And from my perspective, this would be somewhat of a pre-earnings move, so potentially it's already moved the $5. And you know, it might go back down to 24 for the earnings. You know that's the whole thing with earnings. You just don't know which way it's going to go, and you don't know whether or not this was already the pre-earnings move. Like, that's just something to look out for if you're ever going to bet on earnings, is if the stock is already, I mean, it was the same thing with GameStop earnings. GameStop earnings were pricing in like a $2-3 move, and the stock went up $2-3 going into the earnings. So it's like, sometimes the move happens before the earnings even happens. So something to look out for there. Because it went $5 in 3 trading days. Yeah. And I'm sure back at $24, the at the monies were pricing in a $5 move. You know, I can't verify that because I wasn't looking at the stock then, but it probably was. Most likely. $32.77 from 30 plus 2.6, pretty much the same. Yeah, kind of. But you add the call and the put together. It's not like, you know, because the put's $2.50, it's pricing in $2.50 on the downside, or vice versa. You add them together, and then that's your variance there. Because it went up $5 in 3 trading days. Yeah, decent short. I mean, YOLOing earnings can be risky, but decent short. A decent short. Jashri Ram, what's up? What's up, bro? Haven't seen that name in here before. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're feeling blessed. Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. The more you know, I guess, right? The more you know. And, you know, as with everything in the stock market, it's not like guaranteed. It's just an idea that consistently happens. Well, the option thing, you know, the option market pricing in, that is relevant. Like, that's a real thing. But the thing I was talking about earlier, where the run up happens before the earnings, that's kind of more of an opinion based off of experience. What's up, Abraham? What's up? Haven't seen that name in here. Cali Adventures. I feel like I've seen that name in here before, but I don't remember. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing good. Top of chat, there's a poll. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to see people's opinions on the stock, the poll is a good reference. I don't give my opinions on earnings. I let you guys do your degenerate bets with your own information. I'm not going to be the reason you make a degenerate bet. That's all on you, my friend. But make sure you hit the like button. There's over 30 people here and we got 8 likes. That doesn't make any sense. We need way more likes than that. Way more likes than that, chat. So I can short again. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, peace out, Jared. I appreciate you always supporting the stream, bro. God bless. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Much love, bro. Thank you for your support. How come I don't see 56 on the poll? Because that's not realistic. And if you think it's going to go to 56, then just put 35. There you go. Almost looked that. I closed at perfect time. Yeah, that was a solid close. Solid close. Next time on drop your RS username, we'll get some GP in the bank. All right, bet. Bet, Jared. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. You have a good rest of your day, bro. Thank you. I think the low was 0.02 off. That's fire. Top analyst gave a 56 upgrade yesterday. Yeah, but an analyst upgrade is for the future, like years, not tomorrow. And maybe it goes to 56. Like I've seen crazy shit happen in the stock market, but an analyst price target, honestly, from my perspective, an analyst price target is fucking irrelevant because nobody knows what they're talking about when it comes to the stock market. So, from my perspective, that's completely irrelevant, but an analyst prediction is looking out years, not a week. My close was 6.9, but when I pressed it, it went 0.62. Oh, nice. Yeah, you literally like, I think the bottom was like 0.58 or something. That's fire. Fire close. We'll see where the earnings takes us, though. We'll see. We'll see. A lot of people are bullish, which is how it was last time as well. But we don't have as many people in here as last time. There's only 30 people in here so far. We had like over 600 people last time. So maybe some of the hype died down. I guess we'll see. What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? It's on the channel. It's on the YouTube channel. Roaring Corey. Mini left after a huge dip from around 40 to 21. Did it dip quite a bit after? Oh yeah, I guess it did dip quite a bit here. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that would make sense because there was really no risk holding from May to October, but October to now, it was pretty volatile. So yeah, I could definitely see that. But there still should be a lot of hype. It's still up fucking 10x in 7 months or 8 months. Like, there should still be some hype. Reddit was dead on APLD. Do you see a stock going to 32, 33? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see. We'll see. Downward trend. Let's get the price roaring tonight. Maybe. What do you think about APLD holding for life? I don't invest in APLD. I just stream about earnings for the people who do. I'm all in GameStop. GameStop is my forever investment, so I don't really focus on anything else besides that. I'm no pro, but I think it's a horrible stock. Take this with a grain of salt. I'm not a fan. I would never buy it, I don't think, but doesn't mean you can't profit. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't mean you can't profit. Just because, you know, everyone has an opinion on stocks, but doesn't mean you can't profit on basically any stock. Because you definitely can if you know what you're doing. But yeah, I would like I said, I'm kind of I'm all in GameStop, so any other forever hold or anything like that, it's not even even like the top names in the game. I would rather buy more GameStop than buy something like Apple or something like that. Like that's just, that's my bet. That's my bet. Whether it works out or not, who knows? We'll see. We'll see. And I don't really trade much anymore. Pretty much every dollar I have goes into GameStop, so yeah, the options are pricing in like a $5 move, so yeah, $5 up or down. If you've already had a $5 move going into the earnings, so potentially you've already had the $5 move, but we'll see. I can assure GME will not work out. Well, I can assure that you're an idiot. So how does that? I can assure that you don't know how to analyze business and you don't understand investments. I can definitely assure that. You can't assure me that GME won't work out because you have no fucking clue. But I can assure that you're an idiot for having that statement. Crazy, huh? Isn't that crazy? You have no fucking clue what you're talking about, my guy. Literally. He just assured you? Yeah, he assured me that he's retarded. He assured me that he's an idiot and he doesn't understand business. That's what he assured me. I don't need assurance on GameStop. I know my investment. I'm not over here YOLOing on Apld like some people. Mr. Jeremy! What's up, Mr. Jeremy? I hope you had a good holidays, bro. I hope you had a good holidays. Happy New Year, Mr. Jeremy. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you back. Good to see you back, bro. Make sure you guys hit that like button. It says there's over 60 people in here and we got 14 likes. It's not adding up, chat. We got to run that like button up. We need 69 likes. We need 69 likes, baby. GME, are you holding for long? What's expectations? I'm holding GameStop for the rest of my life. And there's really no expectations. It's either going to work out or it's not. It's just a bet that, from my perspective, it's the most interesting bet in the stock market. Whether it's going to work out or not, we'll see. But the people who are so certain that it's not going to work out, I don't think they know what they're talking about. I think it's a pretty solid bet with the solid risk to reward. And potentially looking out a few years from now, there might not be that much risk. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. It's just a bet like anything else in this world. You bet on sports, you bet on stocks. That's, GameStop's my sports bet because I haven't made a sports bet in quite a long time. When is the earnings time? Should be after hours. And then the earnings call is like an hour from now, I believe. I think the earnings call is like an hour from now. Buy cheap and hold pretty much. Yep. Basically, buy and hold. Don't really care about the volatility. And even if GameStop went down to $15, I would still continue to buy it and hold it. Because I think it's an interesting investment for the future, not necessarily... short-term price action's hard to predict, so who knows where it's going to go, but looking out 5, 10, 20 years, GameStop's a pretty interesting investment. Pretty interesting. 15 would be a dream. That'd be great. It'd be interesting. The only way I see that happening is if the whole market crashes, but I just don't necessarily see that happening anytime soon. Dude, why is the stream so laggy? We can't be having this on a day like this. We cannot be having this. Yeah, the stream's hella lagging. The stream's lagging. It's been pretty laggy today. I don't know why. I don't even have anything open besides the chart here. So I don't know why it's so laggy. Either my internet or my computer. Not really sure. It's just been lagging randomly. You got wow, a lot of bullish people on APLD. 68% of the votes so far for 35. Crazy. But hopefully we're back. Damn, 131 people in here? Crazy. Make sure you guys run up that like button. We need 69 likes, chat. 69 likes is good luck. So run it up. Run it up. It's good luck. 69 likes. Dude, it's so laggy. What is going on? It's not lagging here? Good. It says it's lagging on my end, which sucks. They don't want you to spread the truth. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, there's your market close. There's your market close. Let's see what APLD's got. Let's see what we got in store for earnings here. Run up those likes, chat. Run up those likes. So the earnings report should be coming out here soon. I'll have to keep an eye on the investor relation website and see. Oh, who is this? Member? I haven't even seen this name in here. Oh, Rosh! Roch! Roch, I haven't seen you in the stream in so long. I haven't seen Roch in here in forever, bro. I hope you're doing good, bro. I hope you had a good holidays. Appreciate you stopping in. I didn't even know you were a member, bro. I appreciate you being a member as well. Thank you, bro. Thank you for supporting the stream. God bless. I hope you had a good holidays, bro. Had to be back for APLD. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with the APLD here. I don't think the report's out, but you're at 30. You're over 30 right now. I don't know if the earnings reports came out yet. I'll check Twitter. I don't think anything's out yet. I think it just moved after hours. Low liquidity. Yeah, it hasn't came out yet, but a little bit of upside there in the after hours. Hope holidays were good, bro. Can't complain, they were good. I hope yours were good as well. Thank you, bro. Angel, what's up, Angel? Haven't seen that name in here. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? Vabe have J. I don't know who else is here. John Kugler. Hope you guys are all doing good. Thank you for being here. Jesse Ross. What's up, Jesse Ross? Haven't seen that name in here before. Brad Clark. What's up? What's up? Hope you guys are all doing good. Make sure you hit that like button. We got 160 people in here, and we got like 30 likes. We need way more likes than that. We need 69 likes, chat. We need 69 likes, chat, so run up the likes. But either way, I appreciate you guys being here. Gerald, what's up, Gerald? Hair got long since last earnings. Welcome back, Gerald. Welcome back, bro. I appreciate you. I hope you had a good holidays. Hope you had a good new year. God bless, Gerald. Much love, bro. That's funny. That's funny. Rifa Tol Shikder. What's up, Rifa? Ketty Cap, what's up? Is the one. Hope you're doing good. Appreciate you guys all being here today. Hey, we need 9 more likes for 69 likes, chat. Run it up. We need 69 likes. Run that up. Danny, what's up, Danny? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Hope you guys are excited for APLD earnings here. I don't think they're out yet. Still waiting. Still waiting. Tech Branch. What's up, Tech Branch? $35. Everyone wants 35. Everyone wants 35. Nah, I'm all in GameStop. I'll be honest, I don't even have a position on APLD. I just stream it for you guys because I know a lot of people want to see the earnings and listen to the earnings call, so I just do this for the people. I'm all in GameStop. I'm all in GameStop, baby. And I'm sorry if the stream's laggy. The stream has been kind of laggy today, so sorry in advance if it's kind of laggy at points. I don't know what's wrong with my internet today. Romario, what's up? The Goat? I like that name. The Goat. I like that name. Eric Martinez, thank you for being here, bro. Thank you. Ted Rock, thank you, Ted Rock. I appreciate you being here. Why GameStop? I just think it's an interesting bet, and I think looking out 5, 10, 20 years, it's an interesting investment. To give my quick thesis right now, it's not really relevant. You know, we're here to focus on APLD. So that's what we'll stay focused on, you know. If you want more information on the GameStop, you know, come when there's no earnings. I live stream every single day, so you can always come in and ask questions anytime. But everyone's here for APLD. Nobody's here for GameStop, you know? Nobody's here for GameStop. Everyone's here for APLD. So let's keep it chill here. Let's keep it chill. %15 move expected in either direction. What's up, Sanastrov? Hope you're doing good. Give the people, what's up, Tichi Mumu? Oh, that's an interesting name. Tichi Mumu. Am I a day trader? Kind of. I used to be a day trader, but I'm a GameStop investor now. I don't really trade anymore. Only sometimes. But what's up, Romario? Jennifer, welcome. Welcome, Jennifer. Appreciate you stopping in. Please cover STZ as they will also release earnings as well. Chance to beat big beat on EPS. All right, I'll peep Constellation Brands when it comes out. We'll just wait on APLD though. Once APLD comes out and we get all that information, I'll check out Constellation Brands. Have they reported yet, by chance? Oh yeah, that's up that's up quite a bit. Yeah, we'll check that out after APLD comes out. Let's see. Constellation Brands earnings per share was expected 2.63. The actual was 3.06, beat by 16%. Revenue was 2.16 billion. Actual numbers was 2.22 billion, beat by 3%. Their EPS is down 6% year over year. Revenue down 10% year over year. EPS down 16% quarter over quarter, and revenue down 10% quarter over quarter. So pretty decent for Constellation Brands. I'll once this APLD comes out and we cover it, I'll try to cover Constellation Brands while we wait for the earnings call, if we have time. If we have time. We'll see. I'm surprised that APLD's not out yet. It should be out here in the next like minute or maybe 5. Should be coming out soon. When will we know the move? We're just waiting. We're just waiting. But welcome, Luis. DJ Funky Joe. I like that name. Slap some BA puts after Trump tweet. Good bank. Nice. Let's go. Sagard. What time's the earnings? Should be out soon. People still trading GameStop? No, in long-term investment. I mean, I've made a fuck ton of money trading GameStop, but it's a long-term investment. Thank you for streaming this report. I've been holding APLD with a $12 average cost. Nice, Kelly. Nice. Awesome. Why am I a GME investor? Because it's the most interesting stock on the market. From most interesting business, as far as I'm concerned. And it seems undervalued, but we'll see. We'll see. GameStop is a 5, 10, 20-year play. It's not what everyone else thinks it is. Hey, thank you, Rifa. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. He likes the stock. Exactly. I like the stock. I like the stock. GameStop sucks, though? How? Tell me how GameStop sucks, Mr. Professional Business Analyst. Let's hear your wisdom here, because you can't tell me why it sucks, because it doesn't. You don't understand the business. You haven't researched it. You just have your initial impression on the company and the business because of what you've been told by other people. You've never actually researched it. You don't fucking know what you're talking about. So please enlighten me. How does GameStop suck? Enlighten me. Let's see. Let's see you enlighten me. I would love to see it. All right. Let's see. What's up, Chill Guy? Sun Il Fappa. What's up? Learn to Mow. What's up, Learn to Mow? Mike. Oh, wait, that's the GameStop sucks guy. Nobody likes him. Where do you see it in the next year? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't really focus on that. I just put money in it when I have it. My focus is on the next 5, 10, 20 years, not necessarily the next couple. 2,300 shares, average $9. Nice. Welcome, a Zooper. Chill Guy. What's up, Chill Guy? He's a chill guy. Oh, what's up, Kristen? Been a while. Hope you're doing good. Hope you had a good holidays. Hope you had a happy new year. Good to see you. GME will not be a thing in 20 years. Digital game subscription services like Xbox, Game Pass will eventually be the go re-research, because GameStop isn't just video games. And yeah, you need to go research, my friend. You've been told a lie, or you just believe in lies. You got to go actually research before you have an opinion on a business, which, from my perspective, a lot of these GameStop haters so far, you guys have never researched the company. You guys have no clue what you're talking about. Go actually research a business. You guys are all here because APLD went up 10x in 6-7 months, and you think you're going to make another 10x in 6-7 months. Like, none of you guys really understand business. So when you actually go research and understand business, and you're not YOLOing on trash stocks like APLD, then come and talk. But until that day, you continue YOLOing on your trash stocks and hoping you make money. All right? All right. All right. We got that out of the way. Is this still not fucking out? How is this not out yet? Makes no sense. Makes no sense that this isn't out yet. I miss going in, buying $10 cheaper copy of Grandia for PS2. Yeah, but everything's gotten more expensive. I do not understand the biz. I think they sell physical games mostly. Well, not anymore. Now they sell trading cards, collectibles, video games. You got power packs. You got Bitcoin on the balance sheet. You got over, 9 billion cash, collecting interest. GameStop's an interesting investment if you're an actual person who understands business. If you're someone who just YOLOs on hype stocks and thinks you know everything about the stock market because you made money a couple times, GameStop's probably not the investment for you. But if you actually understand business and you actually research, it's very interesting. But I wouldn't expect a majority of people to understand. I mean, considering the poll, there's 347 votes, and 64% or 74% of you think the stock is going to go up. So I think there's a lot of people who just YOLO and hope they are going to make money. I don't think they actually understand business. Just saying. Just saying. Order my kids a lot of GameStop merch for Xmas. They have killer deals and free shipping over $79. Oh yeah. Buy 2 get 1 free on retro games. That's a fire deal, bro. That's a fire deal. Is APLD really not out yet? Did it come out? Am I tripping? I don't think APLD's out yet. Why is it taking so long? I agree, GameStop's not a good buy. How? Explain. Explain your, explain why you think that. If they can pivot the biz, they have a strong brand. GameStop's a trading vehicle, not an investment. Whew. Man. I mean, I agree, there's been a lot of good trading opportunities, but to say it's not an investment, you better go re-research, my guy. I do not see much hate, just people wondering why GameStop. Oh, man, I've been doing this stream for a while. There's a fuckload of hate. Everyone hates on GameStop because the stock barely moves. And everyone just, majority of people in the stock market only focus on stocks that are going straight up. So people aren't going to focus on GameStop when it hasn't really moved for the past year. People are just trying to get a quick gain. That's the stock market. But the funny thing is most people lose. So it's pretty interesting how everyone thinks they're a genius, but none of these people are profitable traders, so it's kind of interesting. I seem sensitive regarding GameStop. No, I just believe in my investment, and I've done the research, and you haven't. You just have an opinion that you've echo because of things you read and what you hear other people say. You don't have an actual opinion on GameStop. You haven't researched the business. Like you don't get it. So you can say whatever you want, but I've actually researched the business. I understand it. You just have an opinion that was put in your brain by someone. So when you've actually done the research, come back. Come back. Come back. Come back when you've actually done research. When you guys are done YOLOing on APLD, praying that you make profit. Come back. Come back again. Man, there's a lot of chatters. Let's see. Dishing out jabs. But Slick, you have trash personality? Oh, okay. I don't give a fuck. If you don't like the stream, get the fuck out. I don't want you here. I don't want you here. Get the fuck out of my stream then. Don't have a clue what GameStop is? Oh, it's just a retail store in the US, Australia, and Europe. But I think Australia and Europe are going to be closing eventually. And eventually it probably will go all online, maybe. Who knows? It's interesting. Yeah, go to StockTwits. Do your thing. If APLD is shit, why are you getting views out of it? Because people only focus on stocks that are going up because they think they're going to make more money. They don't focus on actual investments. They just jump on every hype train they see. So, there's probably a reason why we're getting a lot of views on this APLD stream, because you guys all just jump on every hype train you see and you're not actually real investors. Crazy, huh? Isn't that crazy? I bet like a year ago, every single one of you were YOLOing crypto. Now you're YOLOing AI. Congratulations. Good for you. How is this earnings not out, though? Like, why? I don't get how this isn't out. Oh. How is this not out, dude? This is a joke. The earnings call starts in like 40 minutes, so I don't get how this isn't out yet. Do I sell covered calls? No. There's plenty of reasons why GameStop should not be in a portfolio. Name one. Because I see you talk a lot, but you don't have anything to back what you're saying. You down APLD, then call most of the people here stupid. Well, I mean, judging by the chat, there's probably a reason. There's probably a reason for that. There's some chill people here. There's a lot of names I've seen in here before, but maybe if you weren't acting stupid, I wouldn't call you stupid. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? It's wild. It's wild how you can't look at yourself and see that you're the problem. You're in my stream talking shit. You're in my stream talking shit. So, maybe you're the problem. Do you ever think about that? You ever think about that? Earnings in 40 minutes? I think the earnings call's in 40 minutes. The earnings should be already out. I don't know APLD. I know APLD. Of course I know APLD. Like, what? You got about 1.7 billion stockholder equity, sitting at a 8.5 billion market cap. No profitability. I know APLD pretty well. I might not have researched it as much as a lot of, I mean, I've probably researched APLD more than a lot of you, and I don't even buy it. Crazy, huh? Crazy. Crazy. What does meme stock mean? I don't know what that means. I see that term getting thrown out a lot, but what does that actually mean? I hope everyone makes money. Me too. Besides the people who come in here and talk shit. I hope you guys lose. But everyone who's chill, I hope you guys make money. This is gold. I act like I'm a famous YouTuber? No, I just live stream every day and I deal with people who think they know everything about the stock market every day. Well, not every day. Usually it's just the people who are here all the time, but I've dealt with a lot of people who think they know everything about the stock market and think they know everything about business, and in reality they really don't know anything about it. So I've just been around the block a few times, and it's my stream, so I'll say whatever I want, I'll do whatever I want, and if you don't like it, then get the fuck out of my stream. All right? All right. Haters calling you names, but will stay as you're entertaining. Maybe. Usually people only come here for the earnings and then they leave. Go directly to the APLD website. I literally have the website up and the earnings isn't out, so what? Again, do you know what you're talking about? Because I don't think you know what you're talking about. A lot of haters. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of haters. And then it's funny when you rebuttal the haters, everyone gets upset. You know, it's not just the haters that get upset when you rebuttal them. Everyone gets upset. It's funny. It's funny. Everyone has an opinion and has a loud mouth, but as soon as you rebuttal them, oh man, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. He is a famous YouTuber, Worldwide Corey. Damn right, I am a famous YouTuber. 14K subs, baby. No, I'm just kidding. I don't give a fuck about subscribers. I care about the people who are in my stream every day and all the people who are here just for APLD earnings. Sorry, but I mean, besides the people that are chill, you know, the people that are being chill here, like, I appreciate you guys, but all the other people, like, I'm not here for you. I'm here because I love streaming and I enjoy doing this. So, yeah. I'd rather own Amazon than GameStop. Well, good for you. You'd rather own a potentially overpriced stock versus a potentially underpriced stock. Good for you. Good for you. GameStop's down $11 the past year. Really? Didn't it go from $10 to $80? Weird. I guess we're not looking at the chart the same way. My background? What? Oh, my background? The background used to be a little bit better. Took some stuff down. Is this earnings really not fucking out yet? Like, what is going on, bro? How is this not out? That makes no sense. I've never seen a stock take this long to report earnings. This is insane. Hey, much love. Sahamad Saduli. Appreciate you, bro. Let's see. You should care a bit. If it wasn't for him, you'd not be here for APLD. Hey, I appreciate that, Jesse. I appreciate that. People should just thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark. No, people should thank you, Mark, for being such a chill guy. It's his money, his stream. Let him do his thing. Exactly. Exactly. You want to come in the stream and talk shit on my investment? At least have some information to back why you're talking shit. Don't just say shit to make yourself, like, I don't know. Everyone says GameStop's trash, but nobody has a reason why they think that. They literally just repeat everything they hear from other people. It's like a fucking echo chamber of handicap. It's literally the blind leading the blind. The GameStop's trash. You know what? You know what? I think GameStop's trash too. It's literally the fucking blind. It's like three blind mice. Three blind mice. Three blind mice. See them run. See them run. Most people only have APLD on their radar because of NVIDIA investment. Yeah, exactly. Literally. I remember the day I saw NVIDIA's investment on Open Insiders. Nobody was fucking talking about APLD. And then the stock nuked. And then out of nowhere, everyone was talking about it. Isn't it crazy how that works? Nobody cared about APLD when it was a good potential, you know. It's pretty interesting how that works, huh? Pretty interesting. I never seen your lives before. You seem like a chill guy. The haters just hate themselves. Well, I appreciate that, Savor the Skies. Sometimes I piss people off. It is what it is. Sometimes I get pissed off. It's the name of the game. If you don't want none, don't start none. You don't want none, don't start none. Huh? Crazy, huh? Never makes sense to me why so many people go out of their way wishing downfall on people they don't even know. Nothing better to do with their day, I guess. That's just the internet, man. That's just the internet. Everyone, I don't know. Wouldn't you want to see your fellow person like doing good in life? Why does everyone want to see the downfall? You know, I know I was just talking shit a minute ago, but it's mostly for jokes, and you know, it's mostly for jokes. But I feel like the people here, I don't know if they're joking. I think they actually legitimately are angry and they just want to see me lose. That's fine, you know. It's not going to happen, but we'll see. You know? Hey, 5-10 years from now, let's look at APLD and let's look at GameStop and let's see which one returns more. All right? Yeah, I know you guys are only here because you've been making gains the past like 7 months, but let's see where we're at 5-10 years from now. All right? Can we all agree on that? I think 5-10 years from now is more interesting than, you know, a few months. First day here, but I'll come back. Please just pray for good earnings. 30K on the line. Well, good luck. I hope it works out, bro. I hope it works out. According to my technical analysis, this guy has a year GF ratio of 0. You're right. You're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Only question on GameStop position, what's your entry? It's lower 20s. Lower 20s. But I've bought at 27. I bought at 30. I bought at 25. You know, I bought everywhere, but somewhere around like I don't know, because I've made a lot of money trading on it, so I couldn't honestly tell you my actual average price, but it's probably around like 20, 21, somewhere around there. Who knows? Maybe even lower. Like I honestly couldn't tell you. I flip the shares frequently whenever there's opportunity. Press conference is scheduled for 5 p.m. They might do it during that. Usually they post the earnings before the press conference, so I don't really get what's going on. Whatever happened to Constellation Brands? How's that doing? Is that still going up? Not quite. Not as much, but still up. Still diamond hands? I bought GameStop a year ago. So, like I said, if you don't know what you're talking about, you can't talk shit. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Oh, man. Bro makes all APLD investors the GME. That'd be pretty funny. That's not the goal. That's not the goal, but you know, like I said, 5-10 years from now, let's see. Let's compare. Let's compare cocks 5-10 years from now, all right? Let's see who's bigger. Let's see who's got more girth. They mad heads in here. There is mad heads in here. Not as many as last time, but I've also been talking shit this whole time, so people don't tend to like that, which is fine. But they started it. Blame them. I wouldn't talk shit if people weren't shit talkers. Worldwide Corey. GME's trash, APLD, let's go. Oh, shit. I love this chat, bro. The earnings chats are my favorite. I love this shit. I love this shit. The earnings chats have to be the best. It's always a good mix of negative as fuck people and cool people. It's always a solid, and you got some OGs mixed in there too. It's a good mix. I love the earnings streams. They're some of my favorite. Almost 500 votes and 75% of people think it's gonna go up. So take that with what you take that with a grain of salt. From my experience, the majority tends to be wrong, but we'll see, you know, who knows? Stocks can do interesting things. I feel like your mom is going to call down any minute now and say dinner is ready. I hope so. I'm fucking hungry, bro. She better be fucking getting to work. That kitchen's looking dry. I need to see some whipping in the kitchen. An outsider looking at earnings realistically might be more beneficial than the stock echo chambers on socials. Oh yeah, for sure. But these people, you know, they love their echo chambers. Just like GameStop investors. GameStop investors love their echo chambers, but I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Just 4,000 shares at GameStop. Let's go, no weed. What's up? You can call it a good investment the last 18 months. If you actually did your research, you would know GameStop's down because of the bonds and the warrants, and there's a reason why the stock price is down. But all you look at is a chart and listen to people who are stupid and don't know what they're talking about. So I get why you would think GameStop's a bad investment and you would think it's trash because the stock price is down. But if you actually understand business, like I was saying earlier, you would know why the stock is down. Crazy, huh? Isn't that crazy? That's a crazy thing. Wild. Wild. If you actually understood and did research, you would know why the stock price is down. Huh. And as, you know, as a long-term investor, wouldn't it be better to buy shares at a lower price? Like, wouldn't you all love to buy APLD at $10 again? $20? Like, who the fuck is buying APLD at $30? Who the fuck is buying this shit at $30? Like, if you're a long-term investor, you want the price to stay low. Damn. Damn, you guys didn't see that coming, did ya? You didn't see that coming. You guys are all just about gains and tendies and fucking stocks going straight up. You never thought about a real long-term investment before, huh? Never thought about a real long-term investment before. Wild, huh? Wild. This is a good time. This is a good time. When the fuck are they gonna release these earnings, bro? What is going on? This is insane. How long does it take? This is a joke. Applied Materials? Did APLD forget to release? Around $4 to $5. Nice. Thoughts on SoFi? I've always thought SoFi was interesting, but I haven't researched it in a long time, so I don't know how interesting it is at $30. I was researching SoFi at like 15, 20. It's been a long time since I've actually looked at that, but SoFi's business is solid, and they have a good CEO. But like I said, I haven't researched in a long time, so don't really have a relevant opinion on SoFi. See, even I say my opinions aren't relevant. Isn't that crazy? Being self-aware, it's like you can say things and like admit that you don't know what you're talking about. Crazy world we live in, huh? Besides GME, what other stocks do you follow or invest in / trade? I only invest in GameStop, and I like the S&P 500, but if it wasn't for GameStop, all my money would be in the S&P 500. So GameStop's just a little more speculative, potentially, maybe more upside. I don't know. We'll see, you know. We'll see. I don't know. Brenda. What's up, Brenda? What's up, Brenda? Good things come late. Amen, amen. I genuinely hope everyone in here makes a solid bag. Good. Good. Has this really not released? Still? 40 minutes? 40 minutes from the close and it hasn't released? This is fucking crazy. This is actually insane. Maybe the earnings and guidance were the friends we made along the way. I like that. I'm not married to any stock in 10 years. I'll be invested in something else because the world keeps moving. You must like paying taxes then. I don't like paying taxes, so I'd rather have an investment I can continue to put money in and grow for potentially the rest of my life and never sell and never pay taxes. So, you know, you can, good for you not being married to a stock, but I don't want to pay taxes. If I make multiple millions of dollars in the stock market, I don't want to pay taxes. So, yeah, I'll stick with my investment and not sell. If you like paying taxes, you know, that's fine. I hope you I hope it works out for you, but I don't want to pay taxes when I become a millionaire. I want to keep my millions in a solid investment that will continue to grow potentially, you know? Like I said, I don't fucking know. I don't know what's actually going to happen. It seems like a lot of you guys think you know what's going to happen for some reason, but unfortunately none of us do. So you should probably humble yourself a little bit. Humble yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Come on and check yourself before you wreck yourself. Say what? Funny how people say to buy more reliable stock at $400. Why would I want to make like $200 a year on that expensive ass stock? Yeah, for real, honestly. Honestly, even though, you know, a lot of those, you know, top 5, 10 stocks probably will continue to go up forever. But yeah. Talking about 5, 10 years is wild, let alone trying to predict 1 year. If you did your research and not like it, I understand, but 5, 10 years. If you think 5, 10 years is wild, you truly don't understand investing. Like, that's actually a wild statement. That's the point of the stock market. I know you guys are just here to YOLO APLD, but the point of the stock market is for rich people to put their money in vehicles that will grow their money. Crazy, huh? And that's talking decades, not fucking a year or two. I know you guys don't understand that, but the stock market is for rich people to invest their money for decades, centuries. It's not for your little YOLO fucking wannabe trader ass. You can't listen to someone that puts all their money into one stock no matter what it is? Okay. Okay, you go ahead and think that, buddy. You go ahead and think that. The stock market, if the stock market crashes tomorrow, every single stock in your portfolio is going in the shitter. So, if you think holding one stock is any different from holding 10, 20, 30 stocks, sorry, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. It's all the same market risk. Every stock has different volatility, but if the stock market crashed tomorrow, we would all be fucked. Unless you were holding cash or maybe gold, potentially. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Is this really not out? 45 minutes and it's still not out? This is fucking nuts. This is actually a joke. Oh, there's too many messages. I'm so far behind in the chat. Looking at chart, GME is trading in a range. This seems like a decent time to buy bottom of range. We'll see. We'll see. It could be a good time to buy. Who knows? That's the whole thing with the stock market. It's funny because everyone thinks they know, but literally nobody knows where any of these things are going. I just have a bet on the table that I'm very confident in. How many of you can say that? How many of you are actually truly 100% confident in your investments and your bets? I would be curious because I'm fully 100% confident in my bet. I don't have to buy other stocks because I know the stock I'm confident in, or the investment. I don't have to do anything because I know the investment I'm confident in. I'd be curious how many of people can actually say that. Chat today, oh my. I know. Chat is popping right now. The chat is popping. What's crazy is this isn't even the most people we've had in here, but this is probably one of the most active chats we've had. Probably one of the most active chats we've had. Yeah. GME is going to likely be flat for 2026. That's good. How is that a bad thing? I don't get how that's a bad thing. I get to buy more shares at $20. Fuck yeah. Awesome. Great. When did I get into GME? A year and a half ago. I traded the squeeze, the June 24 squeeze, and made a decent amount of money trading it. And I've pretty much just been an investor since then. There's been a lot of opportunities to make a lot of money, but I'm focused on 5, 10, 20 years, so I know a lot of you from the chat, it seems like a lot of you can't even look that far ahead, but that's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on 5, 10, 20 years. You got it seems like a lot of you guys are focused on 5, 10, 20 minutes. So we're not really the same. We're not really operating on the same wavelength. When's he gonna stop talking? Never. This is my stream, so I'm gonna continue to talk and say whatever I want. GME has a great CEO, Ryan Cohen. Amen. Amen. GME is all you're invested in. Yep. Yep. Can you explain to us why GameStop isn't a meme stock? I don't even know what meme stock means, so no, I can't. I don't even know what the term meme stock means. I've heard that term a lot, but I don't know what it actually means. It's easy when you're live in your mom's basement. This is actually my basement. So I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Look into GME's fundamentals before and after COVID. I don't know if any of these people even know what a balance sheet is. Obviously, there's probably a lot of people here who do, but it seems like a majority of the people in this stream probably don't even know what a fucking balance sheet is. So it's not very, I agree, you should go look into GME's fundamentals, but I don't think anyone here really knows how. You can trade with an IRA account that has already been taxed. Yeah, you can do Roth IRA. Fair. But you do have a limit to how much you can put in that every year. I think it's like 7,000 limit. Never sell? What are you on about? Oh, I just don't like paying taxes. So yeah, I'm never going to sell. Yeah, you guys must like paying taxes. Apld finally came out. Holy shit. It's up 7%, but holy shit, it's finally out. Expected negative 0.21. It actually broke even. 0.00 EPS. That's actually pretty impressive. Beat by 100%. Revenue expected 81.21 million. Actual number is 126 million, so beat by 56%. Pretty impressive, not bad. EPS up 100% year over year. Revenue up 250% year over year. EPS up 100% quarter over quarter. Revenue up 97% quarter over quarter. Let's see if they publish. Okay, cool. Cool. So Applied Digital reports fiscal second quarter 2026 results. A designer, builder, and operator of high-performance, sustainably engineered data centers and colocation services for artificial intelligence, cloud, networking, and blockchain workloads, reported financial results for the fiscal second quarter ended November 30th, 2025. Company also provided operational updates. Fiscal second quarter 2026 continuing operations financial highlights. Revenue is 126.6 million, up 250% from the prior year comparable period. Net loss attributable to common stockholders, 31.2 million, down 76% from the prior year comparable period. Oh, wow. They lost 76% of stockholder value? That's interesting. Oh, wait, down 76%. Okay. Well, they lost 31 million of stockholder value. Interesting. GameStop doesn't do that. As actually, from my knowledge here, GameStop has actually increased stockholder equity by 300% since last year. Pretty interesting. Net loss attributable to common stockholders per basic and diluted share, 0.11, down 82% from the prior year comparable period. Adjusted net income, 0.1 million. Adjusted net income per diluted share, 0. Adjusted EBITDA, 20.2 million. Recent highlights: achieved ready for service at Polaris Forge 1, delivering 100 megawatt on schedule and fully energized in first building, ELN-02. marking completion of the first of 3 contracted buildings and advancing the 400 megawatt AI factory campus for CoreWeave, announced an approximately 15-year lease with a US-based investment-grade hyperscaler for 200 megawatts of AI, and HPC capacity at the under-construction Polaris Forge 2 campus, with phased delivery across 2 buildings beginning in 2026, expected to deliver approximately $5 billion in revenue. Completed a $2.35 billion private offering of 9.25 senior secured notes due 2030, issued at 97% of par, with proceeds allocated to construction of the 100 megawatt ELN-02 and 150 megawatt ELN-03 facilities at Polaris Forge 1, repayment of the SMBC loan, and establishment of required debt service reserves. Drew an additional $562.5 million from Makara Asset Management under the company's preferred equity financing facility up to $5 billion, providing capital for the AI factories at Polaris Forge 1 and Polaris Forge 2. Invested $15 million into and led a $25 million funding round for Corintis, a developer of advanced direct-to-chip liquid cooling technology, strengthening Applied Digital's leadership in high-density AI-optimized data centers, and supporting the scale-up of next-generation cooling solutions essential for ultra-high performance compute. Subsequent to the quarter, drew $337.5 million from Macquarie Asset Management under the company's preferred equity financing facility of up to $5 billion, providing capital for continued development of Polaris Forge 1, entered into a development loan facility with Macquarie Equipment Capital to fund pre-release sourcing, planning, and construction activities for new AI factory campuses, including an initial $100 million intended to support development work for multiple sites, and currently engaged in advanced negotiations with another investment-grade hyperscaler. Announced plans to spin out Applied Digital Cloud and combine it with Exo Bionic Holdings through a proposed business combination to form Chronoscale, a dedicated accelerated compute platform for GPU-optimized AI infrastructure, with Applied Digital expected to initially own over 80% of the combined company upon closing. What happened to this thing? Is it still up? Yeah, up a little bit. That was I don't know if Marius is still here, but that was a solid closeout on that short. I mean, they're probably going to read all this stuff during the earnings call. Let me get the earnings call up here real quick. What the hell? Where's the earnings call? They didn't even send me the reminder for it. Oh wait, I already have the website right here. Already registered. I wonder why they didn't. Maybe I had spelt my email wrong on accident. I guess that's possible. Usually don't do that though. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. I'll try to finish this, but I imagine the earnings call is going to start here soon. All right, management commentary. Applied Digital has now signed leases with 2 hyperscalers across 2 campuses in North Dakota. CoreWeave holds 400 megawatts under contract at Polaris Forge 1, representing approximately $11 billion of prospective lease revenue over the term of its leases, while a US-based investment-grade hyperscaler holds 200 megawatts at Polaris Forge 2, representing approximately $5 billion of prospective lease revenue over the term of its lease. Collectively, these lease agreements bring total lease capacity to 600 megawatts, and aggregate prospective lease revenue to approximately $16 billion before exercise of any renewable options. During the quarter, Polaris Forge 1 reached ready for service, delivering 100 megawatts on schedule, and fully energizing the first building, ELN-02. This marks the completion of the first of 3 contracted buildings at the campus, and represents a significant milestone in the 400 megawatt AI factory build out for CoreWeave. As a result, CoreWeave paid approximately $85 million this quarter, including $73 million for tenant fit-out activities, and Applied Digital recognized $12 million in partial quarter lease revenue. Additionally, the legacy data center hosting business contributed over $41.6 million in revenue. The Dakotas representing a compelling region for hyperscalers due to their cool climate and abundant energy. We believe our first mover advantage combined with our proven ability to execute technically complex data center construction positions Applied Digital with a strong competitive advantage. Having already secured 2 hyperscalers in the region, inbound demand has increased meaningfully. We're also in an advanced discussion with another investment-grade hyperscaler across multiple regions, including additional locations in the Dakotas and select southern U.S. markets. While there can be no assurance of the future contracts, we believe we are well positioned to begin construction on the near term on these new sites. To support these multi-billion-dollar contracts, Applied Digital has established a repeatable financing framework with top-tier financial institutions. This includes development loan facility with Macquarie Equipment Capital for pre-leasing sources, planning, and early construction, as well as our previously announced financing arrangement with Macquarie Asset Management. Under the terms of that preferred equity arrangement upon lease execution with an investment-grade hyperscaler, company may access a preferred equity financing facility with Macquarie Asset Management, subject to mutual agreement between the parties, providing up to $4.1 billion of remaining preferred equity capital for these projects. To date, the company has drawn $900 million in funds under this preferred equity arrangement. These agreements allowed Applied Digital to retain over 85% common equity ownership of each site, while committing limited corporate capital, significantly reducing the need to access public capital markets. In addition, a special purpose subsidiary of the company recently completed a is the earnings call ready yet? Should be coming up. Recently completed a $2.35 billion senior secured private notes offering with Morgan Stanley as lead, further strengthening the balance sheet. As of period end, Applied Digital held approximately $2.3 billion in total cash, cash equivalents, and restricted cash, $5.2 billion in total assets, $3.2 billion in liabilities, and approximately $2.1 billion in temporary or stockholder equity, with the majority of its debt not maturing until 2030. These figures do not include $382.5 million in proceeds from financing that closed after the quarter end. Oh, only $2.1 billion in temporary stockholder equity? Gamestop has $5.3 billion in stockholder equity. Interesting. Interesting.
Any press release,
All right.
a copy of which
Enjoy
has been
the earnings
furnished in a
call.
report on a Form
Bye.
8-K filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, and will be available in the Investor Relations section of the company's website. Joining us on today's call are Applied Digital's Chairman and CEO, Wes Cummins, and CFO, Saidal Mohmand. Following the remarks, we will open the call for questions. Before we begin, Matt Glover from Gateway Group will make a brief introductory statement. Mr. Glover, you may begin.
Thank you, operator. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Applied Digital's fiscal second quarter 2026 conference call. Before management begins formal remarks, we'd like to remind everyone that some statements we're making today may be considered forward-looking statements under securities laws and involve a number of risks and uncertainties. As a result, we caution you that there are a number of factors, many of which are beyond our control, which could cause actual results and events to differ materially from those described in the forward-looking statements. For more detailed risks, uncertainties, and assumptions relating to our forward-looking statements, please see the disclosures in our earnings release and public filings made with the SEC. We disclaim any obligation or undertaking to update forward-looking statements to reflect circumstances or events that occur after the date the forward-looking statements are made, except as required by law. We also discuss non-GAAP financial metrics and encourage you to read our disclosures and the reconciliation tables to the applicable GAAP measures in our earnings release carefully as you consider these metrics. We refer you to our filings with the SEC for detailed disclosures and descriptions of our business, as well as uncertainties and other variable circumstances, including but not limited to risks and uncertainties identified under the caption Risk Factors in our annual report on Form 10-K and our quarterly reports on Form 10-Q. You may access Applied Digital's SEC filing for free by visiting the SEC website at www.sec.gov. I'd like to remind everyone that this call is being recorded and will be made available for replay via a link available in the Investor Relations section of Applied Digital's website. Now I'd like to turn the call over to Applied Digital's Chairman and CEO, Wes Cummins. Wes.
Thanks, Matt, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our fiscal second quarter 2026 conference call. I'd like to begin by thanking our employees for their dedication to delivering high-performance, sustainably engineered infrastructure for AI, cloud, and blockchain workloads. Their execution and commitment continue to be foundational to our success. This quarter marks several important milestones across our HPC data center and hosting business. Polaris Forge 1 reached ready for service, energizing 100 megawatts on schedule and completing the first of three contracted buildings. The remainder of this AI factory campus is expected to be completed by the end of 2027 and will host 400 megawatts for CoreWeave, representing approximately $11 billion in prospective lease revenue over approximately 15 years. We also announced a roughly $5 billion 15-year lease with a U.S.-based investment-grade hyperscaler for 200 megawatts at Polaris Forge 2. This is a $3 billion project near Harwood, North Dakota that is advancing on schedule, with initial capacity expected in 2026 and full build-out in 2027. Together, these agreements represent 600 megawatts of lease capacity and approximately $16 billion in prospective lease revenue across our North Dakota campuses. Having secured 2 hyperscale leases in the region, inbound demand has increased meaningfully. As a result, we are in advanced discussions with another investment-grade hyperscaler across multiple regions, including additional locations in the Dakotas and select southern U.S. markets. While there can be no assurance of future contracts, we believe we are well-positioned to begin construction of additional campuses in the near term. Hyperscalers are competing aggressively to secure sites that can support massive AI demand, responding to data highlighting significant shortfalls in global power capacity. Many are being asked to commit capital to 30-year power plant developments, meaning energy may take years to come online and could cost more than anticipated. Beyond the immediate rush, AI infrastructure is ultimately a cost of capital business where every input matters. In this context, we chose the Dakotas because we believe they provide a durable competitive advantage with low cost of abundant energy and climate, ample land for expansion of existing sites, and potential for future large-scale super sites that could align with regional energy developments, making Applied Digital sites not only immediately valuable, but we believe also more efficient and cost-effective over the long term compared with other regions in the U.S. and globally. Building on this advantage, we have significantly evolved our construction and design capabilities. Our current data center designs are modular and highly efficient, allowing us to run numerous concrete plants simultaneously and leverage prefabricated components delivered by 18-wheelers. The approach reduces construction timelines and lowers overall cost. We've expanded the footprint and flexibility of our buildings design to allow for different GPU and ASIC chip architectures and networking infrastructure to support multi-purpose AI use cases and traditional cloud workloads. While AI is driving significant demand, cloud computing continues to grow and increasingly competes for data center capacity. Our facilities are purpose-built to support training, inference, and traditional cloud workloads intended to give hyperscalers maximum flexibility over the life of the asset. Looking ahead, we expect to maintain a meaningful competitive advantage in the Dakotas and intend to announce additional locations in other advantaged regions. With that, I'll turn the call over to our CFO, Saidal Mohmand, for a detailed review of our financials. Saidal?
Thanks, Wes, and good afternoon, everyone. This quarter represents a major inflection point for Applied Digital. After 2 years of construction and over $1 billion invested in our first 100-megawatt data center, we have now begun to generate lease revenues. We expect lease revenues to ramp over the next quarter, and it's important to note that we currently have 2 different campuses under construction simultaneously, representing 600 megawatts. These buildings are expected to come online over the course of calendar 2026 and 2027, where we anticipate meaningful revenue growth over the coming 18 to 24 months. This does not include any additional campuses currently under advanced discussions with customers, which would be layered into these numbers according to their respective design and build timelines. From a high-level finance perspective, we have agreements in place with top-tier financial institutions that allow us to execute this repeatable and capital-efficient framework. The first step of this process is to draw on our development loan facility with Macquarie Equipment Capital, which allows us to fund pre-lease construction for new sites. Subsequent to the first quarter end, we made our first draw under this $100 million facility. The second step, following a mutually agreed upon executed lease with an investment-grade hyperscaler, is to access the Macquarie Asset Management's $5 billion preferred equity facility. To date, we have drawn $900 million from this facility to support our Polaris Forge 1 and 2 campuses. We expect a similar financial structure will be used going forward for future development projects. This multi-layered financing framework allows Applied Digital to leverage third-party capital for a majority of the upfront investment while retaining majority ownership of each site, providing financial flexibility and reducing reliance on public capital markets. On the debt front this quarter, we completed a $2.35 billion private offering of our 9.25% senior secured notes due 2030 to finance the first two of the 3 buildings at our Polaris Forge 1 site, supporting the CoreWeave leases, allowing us to refinance existing debt. Note, project-level debt typically carries higher interest rates initially as it finances the riskier portion of development, but once the buildings are operational, our goal is to refinance at lower rates. Additionally, our team is actively exploring and working on options to reduce the cost of debt for the third building, ensuring we continue to optimize our capital structure. Now let's turn to the quarter. Revenues for the fiscal second quarter of fiscal 26 were $126.6 million, up 250% from $36.2 million in the prior year. The increase was primarily due to a $73 million of revenue generated from the 10-out fit-out services associated with our HPC hosting business, along with $12 million of recognized revenue in connection with the commencement of the first CoreWeave lease at Polaris Forge 1, reflecting partial quarter lease revenue. On a cash basis for the leases, revenues were approximately $8 million. The difference between cash received and the revenue recognized reflects ASC 842 lease accounting, which requires lease revenue to be recognized on a straight-line basis over 15 years. We will aim to provide clarity on this difference on an annual basis going forward. Applied Digital's data center hosting segment, which operates 286 megawatts of customer ASICs across 2 North Dakota facilities, had an exceptionally strong quarter, contributing $41.6 million of revenue, up 15% compared to the prior year. This growth was primarily driven by increased capacity online across the company's hosting facilities. We are very pleased with this business, which generated roughly $16 million in segment operating profit in just 1 quarter on a $131 million asset base. Cost of revenues in total were $100.6 million compared to $22.7 million in the prior quarter. Approximately $69.5 million of the increase in the cost of revenue was associated with the tenant fit-out services for our HPC hosting business, while the remaining increase was associated with our data center hosting business and other expenses directly attributable to generating revenue. SG&A was $57 million compared to $26 million. This increase was due to an increase of $23.8 million in stock-based comp due to accelerated vesting of certain employee stock awards, $4.7 million in professional service expenses, primarily related to an increase in legal services, and $1.2 million in personnel expense for employee cost and other costs attributable to supporting the growth of the business. Interest expense was $11.5 million compared to $2.9 million, while net loss was $31.2 million or 11 cents per share. On an adjusted basis, adjusted net income was positive $100,000 or 0 cents per share. Adjusted EBITDA for the quarter totaled $20.2 million. From a balance sheet perspective, Applied Digital is exceptionally well positioned. We ended the second fiscal quarter with $2.3 billion in cash equivalents, and restricted cash versus $2.6 billion in debt, most of which does not mature until 2030, and approximately $2.1 billion in total equity. Note these figures do not include the $382.5 million in proceeds from financings completed subsequent to the quarter end. Our goal is to maintain one of the strongest balance sheets in the industry throughout the majority of the construction phases, intentionally holding a robust liquidity position to preserve a strong credit profile while enabling additional investments in equipment and new sites, then reassessing as buildings come online as our cash flow increases. With that, I'll turn over the call to Wes for closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Saidal. Applied Digital is executing in a market defined by extraordinary hyperscaler investment, now exceeding $400 billion annually. With our first 2 hyperscalers under contract for 600 megawatts and additional sites in advanced discussions, we are well positioned to scale rapidly. We now expect to surpass our long-term goal of $1 billion in NOI within 5 years. The Dakota campuses are expected to provide a durable strategic advantage through low-cost energy, natural cooling, and a supportive regulatory environment. We remain committed to responsible development, strong community partnerships, and environmental stewardship. We continue to invest ahead of the curve. This quarter, we led and invested $15 million in a $25 million funding round for Corentus, supporting advanced liquid cooling solutions for high-density AI workloads. We are also working with utilities and strategic partners, including Babcock & Wilcox Enterprises, to explore ways to add power to the grid without increasing costs to our customers. These initiatives reinforce our leadership in next-generation data center design, responsible grid management, and a long-term shareholder value creation. We plan to continue advancing our thought leadership at the forefront of data center technology and deepening our influence across the broader ecosystem. I'm also proud to announce the launch of Applied Digital Cares, a community initiative funding grants that support education, health, innovation, and local development in the regions where we operate. Through this initiative, we aim to improve the standard of living in these focused communities because our success depends on theirs. Finally, as noted earlier, I want to expand on the board's decision to spin out Applied Digital Cloud. We've entered a non-binding letter of intent to combine Applied Digital Cloud with Exobionics to form Chronoscale, a dedicated GPU-accelerated compute platform for demanding AI workloads. This transition separates our cloud platform from our data center
Wait, what
business,
happened? You
intended
guys
to
were all
allow
bullish
each to
like
scale
10 minutes
independently
ago.
with greater
That's
strategic and
crazy.
capital flexibility.
What happened?
Chronoscale is set up to leverage
Everyone's bearish
the proven
now?
Applied
It's been
Digital
10
Cloud
minutes.
platform among the first to deploy NVIDIA H100 GPUs at scale. On an anticipated closing in the first half of 2026, Applied Digital is expected to own over 80% of Chronoscale. Today, the cloud business generates over $60 million in trailing 12-month revenue with $313 million in assets. We believe spinning off our cloud business best positions us to serve the accelerating AI market while enhancing long-term shareholder value. With that, operator, we'll open the call for questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. If you have a question, please press star followed by the number 1 on your touchtone phone. You will hear a prompt that your hand has been raised. If you would like to withdraw from the polling process, please press star then the number 2. If you are using a speakerphone, please make sure to lift your handset before pressing any keys. Your first question comes from the line of Nick Giles from B. Riley Securities. Please go ahead.
Thanks, operator. Hey guys, congrats on all the progress. My first question was just, was hoping to get a sense for your growth appetite in the cloud business. Good to see the announcement there for Chronoscale. Should we expect the Applied platform to be a host for any future GPU purchases, or how could Applied ultimately help attract incremental customers for Chronoscale? Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Nick. We've had a lot of discussions around that. So I think one of the key advantages that Chronoscale will have is the relationship with Applied Digital and access to large-scale data center facilities. Deploying the accelerated compute, whether it be GPUs or TPUs or LPUs, is part of the equation, but having access to large-scale data center facilities to actually make those deployments is a bigger part of the equation right now. And I think that's going to give that platform an advantage, having the relationship with Applied Digital. We've had some of those discussions. We don't really want to get into how that will work in the future, but I do think that's a big advantage for the cloud business as it spins out.
Got it. I appreciate that, Wes. My second one was just, you signed an agreement for a limited notice to proceed with Babcock & Wilcox, and I was just wondering if you could touch on the opportunity there. What kind of optionality does this really give you going forward, and what should we be looking for in the upcoming contract release?
So for us, with the BW solution is a very unique solution and an exciting solution in the market because it uses older technology or an older process, which has been proven out for 100 plus years. It's using steam turbines. Think of coal plant boilers, but we're using natural gas. That company has actually made a lot of coal to natural gas conversions over the past decade plus. And what it allows us to do is go to market earlier. If you get in lines for traditional natural gas turbine right now, if we put an order in today, we're probably not getting delivery until 2031, 2032 for that equipment. We need power earlier than that. We are working with our utility partners, specifically now in the Dakotas, but expect to in other states as well. The initial reaction from those utilities has been overwhelmingly positive and really interested in the solution. That the utilities, any utility in the country knows who BW is. The company's been around for a long time, very, very good reputation. And for us to be able to bring a product forward, 3, 4+ years to be able to generate power in the near term is a big advantage for those utilities and for us. And I think you should expect to see more information about that in the first quarter as we proceed with a site and an actual schedule for build on that equipment. But it provides a really good option for Applied Digital to expand its current campuses and future campuses faster than we would be able to otherwise.
Got it. Hey, Wes, appreciate all the detail. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Nick.
Next question comes from the line of Darren Aftahi from Roth Capital. Please go ahead.
Hey, guys. Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks for taking my questions, and congrats on the progress. Two, if I may. Wes, can you just talk generally about the landscape for leases and how pricing may have changed over the last 6 months? Like, is it improving, staying the same, going down? And then second question, can you just talk a little bit about the pre-lease financing? I appreciate what it's actually doing, but what does that say about your confidence when you're progressing on sites where you don't have signed leases? Just any kind of commentary and context would be great. Thanks.
Sure. So I'll start with pricing, and Darren, I'll keep it specifically to us. I don't want to speak for the market at large, but I would say generally pricing has been stable to slightly better over the past 6 months. The demand profile for the past 6 months has been extraordinarily robust. I always want to expand a little bit on this with contracting. There's the headline price that you'll see in contracts and a calculated yield, which is using an estimated cost to build. That's one aspect of it. What I would say, though, that's as important or even more important is we're getting more favorable terms in other aspects of the contract that we focus on very acutely for things like cancellation, transferability, a lot of the things that make these contracts for us, much more rock solid over that 15-year time frame. And we're getting a lot more favorable treatment in those aspects. As an example, our current contracts are really non-cancelable for 15 years. The customer can cancel for convenience. However, they owe us the 15 years of payments if they do. So that's as a make whole or a cancellation in the contract. So we've been able to get that 100% make whole transferability that doesn't allow them to have to transfer to a credit rating that's either equal or higher. There's a lot of things that go into the contracting. So I would just say in general that the contracting environment has gotten more favorable over the past 6 months. And then on the Macquarie equipment facility and us announcing that, I think you should think back to what we did for our facility in Harwood, North Dakota. We did something very similar, and at the time I spoke about that as well. As we will go forward with groundwork, breaking ground, getting the project moving when we have a high degree of confidence that we're going to sign a lease at a new campus or new campuses, and that's that facility. We use that same style of facility. Now we've made that facility effectively an evergreen, so that we can continue to draw and pay it back. But we use that in Harwood. We paid that back with the draw on Macquarie Asset Management. We've now drawn down again. We've purchased some land and some other equipment. We'll start construction on at least one new campus by the end of January. And that's because we have a high degree of confidence that we're going to sign a lease with a new customer that is different. And we said investment grade hyperscaler. It's different than the original one we signed in Harwood. And that's the goal for us. Darren, we have a lot of momentum. So we've talked a lot about this before, where We're qualified with most of the investment-grade hyperscalers. We're really focused on 6 companies total here. And so we want to add new locations, and we want to add new customers. So we diversify both in location and by customer, and we expect to have a lot of success on that in 2026. And with what we're doing and what you're seeing the actions are now, you should expect that we think it's going to be in very early 26.
Great. Appreciate the insight, Wes. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Your next question comes from the line of Rob Brown from Lake Street Capital Markets. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Congratulations as well on all the progress. Just back to the Chronoscale spin out. I think you said mid-year for kind of closing. What's the give us a sense of what steps have to happen between now and then in terms of getting finalized agreement and a closing step? What sort of has to happen here?
Sure. So it technically will be a merger, Rob, and so we'll get to a definitive, later this month or early in February, and then there will just be a process for a shareholder vote to complete the merger. I think in the first half of 26 is the expectation. I think if I were handicapping it on the very, very early side in March, but I would expect kind of the April-May timeframe as we go forward with that.
Okay, great. And then as you kind of think about that business and the growth possibly there, I think you said of $60 million trailing or $75 million, I think you also said sort of prospective. What's sort of the growth opportunity? Is there additional capacity that can get leased out as a standalone business, or do you expect, I assume you expect some growth and capacity as well, but just a sense of the growth opportunity there?
Yeah, so just for context on this, Rob, when we announced back in April, we put that into discontinued ops. We're seeking strategic alternatives. We evaluated a lot of alternatives, but while we were evaluating those alternatives, I think that market changed pretty significantly, and what we're seeing is a big opportunity in the compute side of the market, obviously the data center side as well, but the compute side of the market, you're seeing a lot of deals happen over the past 3 or 4 months in that part of the market. We're involved with a lot of those counterparties and discussions and have been, and we think there's a really large opportunity for our cloud business as we spin it out into Chronoscale to get some of those types of contracts. And we working with us, we think there's a really unique relationship there where we can get data center capacity to be able to deploy significant scale for those style of contracts with those customers. And so we think this is the absolute best path for value creation for our shareholders to let this company spin out and capture that opportunity and raise its own capital and get on its own growth trajectory, which we just haven't focused on for the past 8 months. So we think there's a huge opportunity there, and you can see the stuff that's going on in the market, and we're really well positioned to capture some of those opportunities.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'll turn it over.
Thanks, Rob.
Next question comes from the line of Mike Grondahl from Northland Securities. Please go ahead.
Hey, guys. Thank you. You've mentioned a couple times advanced discussions. Can you talk a little bit about how many sites you're having advanced discussions about and like how many megawatts, just so we can get a feel, kind of a sense of the breadth that you're talking about?
Sure. I think we've talked about 2 or 3 sites. So I'll tell you, it's we're in advanced discussion on 3 sites and 900 megawatts.
Great. 3 sites and 900 megawatts. And then, Wes, how are you thinking about the pipeline today? How would you characterize that pipeline?
The pipeline remains robust. I will say, Mike, when I think about the business, and it's been like this for the past few months, I'm thinking less about the demand side of the equation. And I talked about this a lot on the last call, which is our ability to scale, across multiple sites and do construction across multiple sites, and how many sites can we do construction across. And the team spent a lot of time in 2025 and will continue in 26 working on our ability to scale and execute these projects at the size that we're doing across multiple sites. So it's less on the demand side, because that's not been really the issue for us, or really I think the issue for the industry. We'll focus more on how much can we do, and how much can we build from a supply chain perspective, from a personnel perspective, on an annualized basis. And so I don't think demand is going to be the limiter for us, but I want to make sure, we always want to make sure that we're delivering on time and on budget for our customers. And I don't want to go too far out. We haven't hit that limit yet. But it's the piece that I think about a lot, and we internally think about a lot, is what is the limit for us on an annual basis. It's a large number, but that's really more the limiting factor for us, and not what the demand picture looks like.
Great. Hey, thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike.
Your next question comes from the line of George Sutton from Craig-Hallum. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Wes, you mentioned having been qualified by a few of the investment-grade hyperscalers. Can you just talk about what that means when we talk about being in advanced discussions? I mean, how much more simplicity of getting something across the finish line is there once you've gone through that process versus, hypothetically, someone new in the market?
Yeah. So what I would say generally, and I'm going to only be able to reference our experience. So getting onboarded, getting to the point where you sign a master agreement that governs, typically work orders that or service orders you'll sign underneath of that, can be anywhere from, on the low end, 3 months, to on the high end, 9 months to a year. And so we've been through the process there for most of these hyperscalers. So there's the 6 that we target, which are the 5 investment grade hyperscalers, and then CoreWeave. So we're through, out of those 6, we're through that process with 5 of those. And so I think we're in a really good position. And so if we've already been through that process, doing a new building, even if it's, a new building on the same campus, or an expansion in a current building, or doing even a new campus, if you're through that with one of those hyperscalers, is a much shortened timeframe, abbreviated timeframe, to get to that, actual contract versus starting from scratch.
Gotcha. So I want to put a couple of things together, and if you can help me. You were on CNBC the other day, mentioned, by the way, movie star quality experience, frankly. But you mentioned you had done $16 billion of deals in 25, and that you would anticipate doing that or potentially better in 26. And I want to dovetail that with what you just said on we're late stage with 3 sites and 900 megawatts. Am I kind of putting these things all together correctly?
Yeah, I think that's correct. What I would just to add to that George, on the 900 megawatts, I don't want to set the expectation that all of that is done at the same time. That could be, one at a time. It could be none. We've been through enough of this. George, you've been through this with us as we've gone through the last few years. Nothing is done until it's done. That's just what we're working through right now. But that's those two going together. I think, you're reading that correctly.
All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Next question comes from the line of John Todaro from Needham & Company. Please go ahead.
Hey, thanks for taking my question, and congrats on the quarter. Wes, you spent a good amount of time talking about how, I guess, supply and execution is a little bit more of the difficulty part than demand. I think you ultimately ended ahead of schedule on that first build for CoreWeave. Can you just walk us through maybe what you learned from that execution, and give us confidence in how you'd be able to continue to execute on those builds on the development side, and then I have a follow-up.
Yeah. So we learned a lot going through that process on that first building, and we've made a lot of refinements. Typically, John, I think you've probably heard me talk about this before. So for us, one of the things I think differentiates us in the market is, we started down this path back in 2022. We've stubbed our toe in a lot of different ways through the years. Luckily, we did most of that at a very small scale, but we had a lot of lessons on that first building, and you see that reflected in design change and then construction change and how we operate all the way through our supply chain and standardizing, a lower amount of SKUs, lower amount of suppliers, all of these things that streamline the process that we do to build these facilities. And so we feel like we have a really good handle on our construction timelines. There's always things that can, cause a problem that are out of our control on construction. One of the things I always, worry about is weather. But we've built, I think this is our fourth year in a row building in North Dakota in the wintertime, so we're pretty accustomed to that as well. But we have, we went back securing supply chain, well over a year ago, 18 months plus ago, and we thought we were really forward thinking on, locking in, 600, 700 megawatts of MEP per year that we have for us. Now we're working to expand that. That fits what we're doing right now, but I think that needs to go larger for us. So, but we feel good about our processes we have in place and kind of the maturation of the construction and development group versus what we did on building one. I'm proud. I'm really proud for the entire team that we delivered that on time and on budget for our customer. But we have to continue to do that. We feel really good about where we are for the Core Reef building that we're expecting to deliver in the middle part of this year, and the building in Harwood we're expecting to deliver in shortly after that, and then the next two buildings after that, both in Ellendale and in Harwood. So we're feeling really good about where we are on schedule, but it's about the fact that we have streamlined this and we're on what I call our fourth generation design has really helped us in simplifying the process and streamlining the process and being one of the companies that does deliver on time.
That's great. Thanks for that. And then just a quick follow-up. I think you mentioned in the past getting calls from entities with sort of stranded power, and it sounded like there might be a little bit more pockets of available power out there than some of us in the industry had initially thought. Could you just maybe frame that up? Is there still additional kind of pockets to acquire more fairly near-term power, and maybe talk to your color on that?
We keep finding more opportunities, more and more opportunities. Everything we're in process with right now is organic. So we have a large amount in flight that is organic. But we continue to see opportunities, third-party opportunities. We continue to evaluate those opportunities. And some of those, really for us, it's, could it be in a different, geographic market for us that is a really attractive market? But we continue to look at that. But everything we're doing right now is organic, but we see those, I would say daily, weekly at least, but typically multiple times in a week.
Great. Thanks for that, guys, and congrats again.
Thanks, John.
Your last question comes from the line of Michael Donovan from Compass Point. Please go ahead.
Hi, Wes and Seidel. Congrats on the quarter. Following up on Mike's pipeline question, can you touch upon expansion opportunities at PF1 and PF2? Do you still have confidence in those reaching 1.4 gigawatts and 1 gigawatt respectively? And I have a follow-up.
Yeah. So every one of our campuses, I think that this is an important point. Every one of our campuses has the potential to go to at least a gigawatt, and some, significantly beyond a gigawatt. But when we think about our goals inside the company, we have two campuses now, that can each go to a gigawatt or more. So we have that pipeline in the future for ourselves. And then we're working on, three additional campuses. We're working on a lot more than that, but think of it that things we're in advanced stage on, three more campuses. Each one of them can scale to 2 gigawatt capacity. So for us, if we put those in place, those contracts in place, we have different customers on those campuses. We have a view and a pretty clear path to, whether it's by 2030 or 2031 or 2032, to growing our capacity to 5 gigawatts if we don't add another campus after that. We would expect that we would, but it puts a really good growth path out for the company, just having these campuses in place. That, just getting to 2 gigawatts, if we were talking about this a year ago, would be, monumental for us. But if we can expand to 5 campuses and have a clear path to 5 gigawatts plus of capacity, over the next 5 years, that's a really great position for the company. But all of those campuses have that expansion potential.
Great. Appreciate that. And with the discussions around NVIDIA this week with liquid cooling for Vera Rubins, can you discuss a bit on what makes Corentus a competitive solution?
So for Corentus is a really interesting. You could go and look at their technology. They had a very nice announcement with Microsoft, I think a couple of months ago. What we like about it is Corentus has a cold plate technology that I liken to semiconductor and then module. A lot of semiconductors are built into modules. So they have the technology that I would classify in this case like semiconductor, which is a specially designed, patterned cold plate that is dependent on each chip, individually. So whether it's B200, B300, Rubin, whatever it might be, they map that chip, they map the heat points of that chip, they design the cold plate with a lot of micro channels through it, and then it goes into a full cold plate, and it sits on top right now. But this technology is designed to go inside the semiconductor packaging in the future, and then actually inside the manufacturing process in the epi for the semiconductors. And the goal for this technology, and a lot of this is proven out for them, is that you can use, if a chip goes, say it's using 1 kilowatt now, but the next generation chip uses 3 kilowatts or 5 kilowatts, this technology can use the same amount of liquid to chill chips as they go up. Now there's a point where that breaks and there's a change where they'll need more liquid. But from a data center operator perspective, when having that efficiency inside is always great for our customers, but to be able to deliver the same amount of liquid on the data center side for a chip that's 3x the power density of what we're currently running really helps us future-proof our infrastructure. And so we're really excited about that technology. I don't know.
Thank you. There are no further questions.
Okay.
There are no further questions at this time. I'd like to turn the call back to Wes Cummings for closing comments. Sir, please go ahead.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us for our Q2 earnings call. I appreciate all of the support and look forward to speaking to you in April. Thanks.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's conference call. Thank you very much for your participation. You may now disconnect.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way out. Appreciate you all being here. Thanks to all the people who are chill. A lot of haters. Pretty interesting. But, yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for supporting the stream. How's APLD doing? Oh, it's back down. Interesting. Screw the haters. Amen. It's pretty interesting, being the only I don't know, just having so many people hate on my investment. It's pretty interesting. Worldwide Corey. Much love, Ruben. I'm gonna stick around for a second. I just don't know, I just don't really know what to talk about at this point. That was fun, though. That was fun. I liked Muma's comment. One person versus 200. one one person's GameStop investment versus 200 haters. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. Keep talking shit, it's fun. Hey, much love, Luis. Much love, bro. Sell all the GameStop. I saw your comment too, Jeremy. I agree. Seeing that much hate in one place, it's a beautiful thing. Isn't it crazy that a bunch of people who haven't even like researched GameStop are like that big of haters on the stock though? Like that's wild. That's wild. Like if they did their research and they had a reason for hating it, you know, that would be fine. But they literally just hate on it because of what was put into their brain by media or whatever guru they follow. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Is this good for CoreWeave? I have no clue. But thank you, DJ Vish. Appreciate it. What's up, William? Raphael, what's up? Elvis. What's up? It was, keyword there, was. Not anymore. What are my opinions on the call? I don't really have any. No opinions. I don't know. I haven't researched APLD's business enough to have an opinion. I only know a little bit. GME's way overvalued. Okay. Is it? How? Overvalued and undervalued is an opinion in the market, so that's a pretty stupid thing to say. Overvalued and undervalued is literally just an opinion. There's no relevance to those words. I'm up 50K. Nah, no you're not. You're a brokey. You were saying you were up 40K. You said you were up 45K. Now you're saying you're up 50K. The stock hasn't even fucking moved, so you're definitely full of shit. Show me your P&L, bro. I don't give a fuck about your fake screenshots. Show me your P&L. Show me every trade you've ever done. Talk to us about game and get us to buy. I don't care what you guys do with your money. I'll be honest. I don't care what you guys do with your money. That's what I'm doing. I'm down 50K. There's a lot of going in the political realm. Weird AI bubble. We'll reach 100 per share. Maybe. It could. It also could go down. It could go up. It could go down. Nobody knows. Everyone has opinion, but nobody knows. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy how everyone has an opinion, but nobody knows what they're talking about? No offense, but like that's just the reality of the stock market. We can all have opinions, but literally nobody knows. It's dropping tomorrow. Good. It could go up tomorrow. It could also go up tomorrow. Revenue will be 140 million by 2028. That doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the stock price, though. 45K on APLD, 2,000 shares at $6. Nice. Nice. That's fire. Do I do covered calls on longs? Nah. I just take profits when there's profits. I don't really do covered calls, but I don't really plan on doing much trading the coming years. Did a lot of trading in 2024. Well, managing the position, I guess I should say. A lot of managing the position in 25. I mean, not enough managing the position in 25. There was a lot of opportunity. There was moments I was up like 50, 60 grand and didn't even take the profit. So, you know, definitely could have did a lot better in 2025, but going forward, I don't really plan on trading much, so we'll see what happens. You know, I'll take profits if the moment or the opportunity presents itself, but I don't really have a plan to do it. New to trading, do you have any suggestions upcoming stocks moving in the new year? Great content. My suggestion is find stocks you want to invest in and go get a job and just focus on investing and don't waste your time trading, because the likelihood of making enough, I mean, statistically you're going to lose money. But more than that, even if you're profitable, even if you're a profitable trader, the likelihood of you actually making enough money to make it worth your time is extremely low. So you're better off just working and investing and doing things outside of the market. So that's my suggestion. I think stock trading's a waste of time, honestly. But not saying you can't make money from it, but I think your time would be better put elsewhere. Sitting and looking at charts all day is fucking stupid. He has no well, if you think that, you're an idiot. I've been in the stock market longer than you. So to say I don't know what I'm talking about is pretty stupid. I literally have videos on my channel talking about options, explaining every detail about options. So, yeah, you're kind of an idiot. I've been doing this way longer than you. And even if I haven't been doing this longer than you, I know more than you. So there's no reason to talk shit. You haven't proved anything. You've said you were up money, and you that's it. That's it. You haven't proved anything. I live stream every single day and talk about exactly what I'm doing and what I've been through. My whole life's on the internet. What the fuck have you done? So to sit and talk about what I haven't done and what I don't do and don't know, that's crazy. That's crazy. Guy said he's up 50K when it didn't even move. Yeah, I know. He said he was up 40 and then 45 and then 50, and the stock was literally the same fucking price every time I looked. God, the internet's so fucking stupid. Oh, the internet is so dumb. The internet is so dumb. Stay out the market, kid. Get an acorn. Yeah, or just put your money in the S&P, honestly. Like, for most people, the S&P is probably the way to go. S&P and the NASDAQ. Investing in business is, that's a different ballgame. I actually read an article recently. It was actually, I don't think I can read it again. I think it got locked, but... and I don't know if this is a real stat, but supposedly like 50-60% or more, I can't remember the exact number, but like a majority of the businesses in the NASDAQ the past like 40-50 years or something like that have all gone bankrupt. So like investing in business is tough. You're better off with indexes, honestly. But yeah, long-term investing's the way to go. get a job, start a business. I feel like you got to truly love this stock market shit. Like, if you don't truly love this stock market shit, it's going to be tough to be successful. You got to truly love it. Hey, peace out, Jeremy. I appreciate you, bro. I hope you had a good holidays. God bless, bro. Thank you for always supporting the stream. Long-term investing and swing trading is the way to go. I just like investing. Swing trading's okay, but I just like investing. I think you can make a lot more money outside of the market, and possibly a lot less stress, because literally in a lot of ways stock trading is just gambling. So if you're, relying on gambling to make money, that it usually doesn't work out in your favor. So it's better to just focus on things outside of the market. Your time is better put elsewhere. As someone who's wasted a fuckload of time in the market, I'm telling you, you're better off being, trying to figure out something to do outside of it. I'm not saying you can't be successful in the stock market, but the odds aren't in your favor by any means. At least investing, statistically the odds are in your favor with investing. Sad that it didn't rip. It hit 32, didn't it? Pretty sure it hit 32. That's not bad. Traders at hedge funds literally are day traders. They definitely make enough to keep funds going, but it's impossible for ordinary people. Yeah, but those day traders are trading millions of dollars. There's a big difference, someone making a couple $100 day trading versus, an institution making tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands on trades. Like, massive difference. What's the best way to be successful in trading? Manage risk, probably. Managing risk, knowing when to take the trade. But like I said, investing is probably a lot better, a lot more worth your time. How much time have I wasted? I mean, I've made a decent amount of money from the stock market, so I wouldn't say it's totally wasted, but I've definitely wasted a lot of time sitting and watching charts and shit like that. I couldn't tell you. But probably like 6 years, 7 years. I'm not sure. I think I started in 2019 or something like that. Not, I wouldn't say it's a full waste. I've learned a lot of experience, but I think my time would have been, if I would have just invested in the S&P or something simple and just continued to work or start a business or something, I would be exponentially farther along than I am now. I've made a lot of mistakes and fucked up a lot and wasted a lot of time, so yeah. Am I unemployed? Yes, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. It's not fun. Being unemployed sucks, but it is what it is. Better invest in growth stocks long term. I mean, just depends. It's a tough question. There's there's thousands of stocks in the stock market. It's a tough question. Not everyone's going to work out. That's why it's better to just focus on indexes, I feel like, for, majority of people. Investing in individual business is, more risk, more reward, but it's just not. I feel like indexes in a lot of ways are almost guaranteed success. Investing in individual businesses, I couldn't tell you if that's guaranteed. I've seen a lot of businesses that were very highly, PayPal, that's the first one that comes up to my mind. I've seen a lot of businesses be hyped and be up hundreds, thousands of percents, and watched them go straight into the shitter and never come back. So it's tough to say when it comes to individual business. Anything is possible. Your investment could be extremely good one moment and then not be good the next. Like, it is what it is. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. All right, peace out, Luis. Appreciate you, bro. Wasted 5 years. Too many stocks, or just bet on one stock to get more profits. Just depends. I mean, it's all what you want to do. More diversified portfolio could potentially be less risk, but at the same time, you're if the stock market crashes tomorrow, basically every single stock is going to crash with it. So in reality, does it really matter how many stocks you have? That's, highly debatable. Highly debatable. Don't forget to buy dividend stocks. I mean, you have to pay taxes on dividends, so how beneficial are dividend stocks actually? And when you get paid a dividend from a stock, they're taking the dividend from the stock price. So if you're getting paid a 50-cent dividend, they're taking 50 cents off of the stock price. So in reality, dividend stocks are kind of pointless if you really think about it. It's nice if the stock continues to go up and you're collecting those dividends and you're reinvesting them, but there's not much difference between a dividend stock and a normal, just normal growth stock, besides when you pay out a dividend, it gets taken away from the stock price. So I kind of disagree with that. Take profits. Depends on your goals. You have to pay taxes on profits. So if you you make 50 grand in profit and you take the profit and then you go and put that money in a different play and you lose it all, you still have to pay taxes on that 50 grand. Just saying. Everyone wants to think everything's black and white, but there's a lot of gray area. There's a lot of gray area nobody wants to talk about. What's my opinion on SDNK? I don't know what that is. SanDisk? I've never heard of this. 50 billion market cap, though. Sitting at all-time highs. I wouldn't be interested. It looks, it's up 6x the past few months. Yeah, not something I would be interested in. Would have been more interesting about 7-8 months ago. But here, I don't care about stocks that are up hundreds of percents. BMNR? I haven't heard of that either. Bitmine? Oh, I have heard of this. I don't like crypto, so I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm a crypto hater. Without risk, there's no reward, but you sound very pessimistic. I'm just a realist. I've been in this game for years. It's made me an animal. There's rules to this shit. I wrote me a manual, a step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track, not your wig pushed back. No, but for real, I've just been in this game for a long time. I've fucking seen it all. I've done it all. So my opinions are going to be way different from anyone else's you hear. And also, I'm not trying to sell you a course or have you sign up for my fucking Discord or some bullshit like that. So I don't have an incentive to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the reality. And if you don't like it, I mean, that sucks. I'm sorry, but reality hurts. Reality hurts. The truth hurts sometimes. What do I think about REITs? IRM was super interesting a few years ago, but I'm not a huge fan of REITs. IRM was crazy. IRM was a crazy investment. I've never seen something that used to pay a 10-15% dividend go up fucking 2-3x. Like that was crazy. IRM was crazy, but I don't like I'm not a big fan of dividend stocks, I'll be honest. And yeah, definitely not REITs. Definitely not REITs. Let's see. Been in this GME. Is my portfolio 50% VO and 50% GME? No, 100% GME. 100%. If GameStop wasn't a business, if I didn't think it was interesting, it would be 100% in the S&P, but it's 100% GameStop. Market's a place to take your money, period. It's I mean, it's the taking the money from the impatient and giving it to the patient. Isn't that the old saying? Isn't that the old saying? Look at Roomba Vacuum, choose your stock wisely. I mean, you just got to research business. You just got to research business. What do you think of OCGN curing blindness? I don't like biotech stocks. I don't fuck with biotechs. Unless you're able to get in before the news gets announced, I'm not interested. But you gotta be on top of your game if you want to be inside a biotech that hasn't released their news yet, or their medicine, whatever they're doing. Yeah, I don't like bio stocks. I like companies that make money and will consistently make money in the ongoing future. And I like stocks that are potentially undervalued. Like, honestly, the most interesting stock play I've seen in quite a while, it's already decently up, but Under Armour. Under Armour is probably one of the, I mean, you got to remember, I'm 100% all in GameStop, so I'm never going to buy this. But this is one of the most interesting stock plays I've seen in a while. Just because it's trading at its stockholder value, or it was trading at its stockholder value. Their stockholder value was like 1.8 billion or something like that. And when it was trading at around $4, it was trading around stockholder value. Now you're a little bit up, but Under Armour has been profitable for the past few years, except last year. They lost like 200 million last year. But if Under Armour can become profitable again, it definitely, at this price point, is pretty interesting. There's not many stocks you get an opportunity to buy at the stockholder equity. It's very rare, so. But they have to become profitable. If they don't become profitable, that stockholder equity is going to start going down. And then, I don't know how good of a play that is, but Under Armour is probably the only, like, interesting thing I've seen in quite a while, as far as, like, being undervalued, potentially. But, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to buy it. But it is interesting. I'll give it that. It is interesting. When the actual EPS coming out? The earnings already came out. For looping us in the APLD call throughout the years. APLD all the way. One day we'll all celebrate with champagne. APLD 100K challenge. I mean, I don't invest in APLD, but I appreciate you stopping in. Thank you for supporting the stream. How is Under Armour going to be profitable in such a poor economy? Cost cutting. There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways they could become profitable. You never know. That's literally why it's undervalued, is because the future is unknown. But the risk to reward on that is, well, maybe not so much anymore, you know, in the $4, $4.50, a little more interesting. But yeah, that's the bet. That's literally the bet. If they become profitable again, there's probably, you know, there could be a lot of upside on that, but who knows? That's the bet. It's, you know, it goes to back what I was talking about earlier when there was over 400 people in here. People only pay attention to stocks that are going straight up. Nobody cares about undervalued investments, stocks that aren't moving, stocks that are going down. People don't give a shit about that. They see green, and that's what they follow. So in the case of like Under Armour, sure, it's already made a decent amount, a move, because the insiders bought like $150 million worth of shares or something like that. So you've already had a decent sized move there. But, you know, a few months ago or a few weeks ago, that stock was extremely undervalued. And if that stock continues to go up, people are going to start talking about it eventually, because that's just how this market works. Like, nobody cares when the opportunity is good, you know, when the risk is low and the reward is high. They only care when it's actually going up for some reason. I don't understand it, because the risk is higher and reward is lower in that scenario, but that's just the market, man. That's just what people, I don't know, it's psychology, I guess. People just want to chase the next thing. I don't understand it personally, but that's just how people are. I wish I understood it. I wish I had could see why people do that, but I don't get it. Focus on cheap potential stocks. Well, it has to have a good business behind it. It doesn't matter if the stock's cheap. It has to have a good business behind it as well. If you're buying a cheap stock and the company makes no money, they're consistently losing money, they're in massive debt, that might not be a good play. Like I said, not everything's black and white. There's a lot of gray area that nobody wants to talk about. There's a lot of gray area in this stock investing stuff. But if you're able to push your biases aside and look into the gray area, you might have more success. I don't know, because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just are biased and they follow the herd and wonder why they never win. But I don't know. People only notice when a stock is moving, basically. I mean, that's what it seems like. How to come to a conclusion on particular stock is undervalued. What are parameters to consider? I mean, everyone's different. But because, you know, some people invest in stocks that are heavily in debt and are cheap. And some of those stocks go up a lot. But yeah, that's tough. That's tough, because overvalued and undervalued is an opinion, honestly. Like, so anyone who says something is overvalued or undervalued, that's just an opinion. Like, there's just no actual evidence to prove whether that's true or not. You know, the market thinks something is a certain price and they're willing to pay that price. It's worth that price until the market changes its mind or whatever. Like, a lot of people say Palantir's overvalued, but it could keep going up. Like, it could keep going up. It doesn't really matter. So you got to kind of just you got to create your own investment thesis or, through your own research. You can't really just ride the coattails of other people because, for one, a lot of people don't even know what they're talking about, but, it's just better to do everything yourself, in my opinion. And then if you lose, you can only blame yourself. You can't blame other people. So you just gotta research fundamental analysis, I guess. That would probably be the best thing, is research fundamental analysis, try to practice it. That's probably going to be your best bet. But other than that, I mean, it's all just matter. I mean, a stock I think is cheap could go down. Like, it doesn't really matter what I think, The market doesn't care. The market doesn't care what I think. The market doesn't care about my opinion. It's just the reality of it. The market just doesn't care. This shit is lagging, son. I don't know why my stream is so laggy today. It's kind of whack. Building a strong connection for speed, NVIDIA, but if you see their work behind the could be gold at the end, key research, what 90% don't know. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know if you guys were here earlier, but I was talking about GameStop and everybody in the chat was shitting on me. It's like, those people haven't done the research that I've done. So it's like, how can I take any of their opinions? How can I put any value on any of those people's opinions when all they have to say is GameStop's trash? GameStop's not going to last. It's like, have you done the research? Do you understand the business? Or are you just repeating what everyone else says? Like, yeah. Research is important. Being confident in your investment is important. But, so what are you looking at? NVTS? See, I don't even know. Nevada Semiconductor? See, I don't even know what this is. NVTS. 2.3 billion market cap. And see, and this is this is another thing like I was just talking about. People only talk about stocks that are up. This is already up 10x since April. Like, this isn't interesting to me. I'm not interested in stocks that are up this much in this short period of time. But I mean, if we go look at go look at their filing just a quick analysis. NVTS doesn't make money. They've only lost money. And they have 430 million in assets. 2.5 billion market cap with 430 million in assets, not making money. See, I'm not interested in that. I want to see some money being made. Maybe there's something I don't know. That was, not even 2 minutes of research, so my opinion on this stock is pretty irrelevant, but that's how quick I have an opinion on something like that, based off of the business, not the stock price. Like, I don't, the stock price comes into consideration because it's already up 10x in 7 months or whatever, but the business isn't profitable, so it's like, I can't be interested in something like that. Doesn't mean, it can't keep going up. It doesn't mean anything, but I'm just, off of my quick 2 minutes of research, I'm not interested. At $1, $2, yeah, that was probably more interesting, but not at 10. Do the due diligence best you can. Apld earnings is already out. What was my yearly ROI for 2025? I don't think I made money in 2025. I'll be honest. It was a lot of accumulating. A lot of day trades too, but yeah, I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. I might have lost money in 2025, but I made like 30, 40 grand in 2024, so I don't know. I don't know. You don't make money, you know, if you're a real trader, doesn't make money every year. Not every year is a good year. But I honestly couldn't tell you. I haven't even looked at my P&L for 2025, so I literally couldn't tell you if I made money or not. But I have a lot in GameStop, so we'll see where that goes. If you follow the crowd, you're gonna get bunch facts. What do you think about IREN and NIBS, NBIS? I don't know what those are. I don't know what those are. 14 billion. I mean, it's already up 10x, 7 months. Not interested. Not interested. See, why does everyone only bring stocks that are up like 10x? Like, nobody brings undervalued stocks in here. This is up 4x. This could maybe be more interesting, but I don't want to research it. I don't really care to research this. But yeah, up 10x in 7 months. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. We should have been talking about these stocks 7 months ago. They're pretty trash now. Well, they're not trash, but they're not interesting to me. There's way too much risk there. Major GameStop investor built into a massive position. Stock isn't going anywhere anytime soon, though. I'd prefer to hold a stock that are moving up, not moving sideways or down. I would rather continue to buy the stock I'm invested in at a cheaper price, so depends how you look at it. I don't give a shit that the stock's not moving, because every time I make money in the real world, I get to buy the stock at a cheaper price. If the stock was higher, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I get your perspective, but I'm in the, you know, you're not looking at 5, 10, 20, 30 years. I want to buy as many shares as I can at as low of a price as I can, because I'm looking out 5, 10, 20 years, and I think it's going to be exponentially higher than 10, 20 years. So if I can buy more shares at a lower price, why, you know, that's great. That's awesome. Viasat. I mean, VSAT was interesting when we were researching it a while ago, but it's already up 3-4x. Not interesting. If stock starts moving again or gains momentum, I'll gladly hop back in. Hey, that's fine, bro. That's fine. Our gains just my gains are just going to be exponentially different than yours, because I've been buying and holding this whole time. And when the stock does start going up, you're not going to put in enough to make it even matter. You know? That's the funny thing about people who try to time the market, is even if they make profit, they're probably not going to make as much as they could have. They're not going to put in as much as they could. Like, people who try to time the market, they're scared of risk. I've been there. I've been there. I've been that guy. I've been the risk manager. I'm not scared of risk. I'm not scared to lose every dollar I have, but if my investment keeps letting me buy it at a cheap price when I know it's worth more, or potentially worth more, who knows if it's actually worth more, I'm going to keep buying it. Profitable is important, yeah. If you want a company that makes money, look at Planter. I got in Planter $6 with 1K shares. Yeah, that's dope. But Planter's up, what, 15x? Or more. Like, I don't care how good Planter is. I'm not fucking buying it. I'm not buying it. How were earnings? The stream was fun. I don't know how people actually feel about the earnings, though. Did I stay in MU? I never bought MU. I just stream about these things. What do I think about Path? I don't know what that is. You guys, how much do you guys think this is going to be up? I'm going to say 7x. Oh, it's actually not up. It's almost doubled. Okay, that's not as bad. That's not as bad. I thought you guys were gonna send me another 10x here. What the hell is this? Infrastructure. I mean, we can look at it real quick, but I can kind of tell you right off the bat that it's probably not interesting. Just because it IPO'd in 2022, there's not a lot of time of this stock being on the market, so I doubt anyone knows how much this stock is actually worth. It's only been trading on the market for 3 years. So I can tell you right off the bat that I'm not interested in it, but I'll check it out for a second. I'll entertain it for a second. At least it's profitable. That's cool. Well, so far. I don't know what the end of the year is going to look like. I believe this is the third quarter, potentially. Total assets, 2 billion. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but potentially a tiny bit overvalued. I think it would have been obviously a lot better at $10, $11. So, kind of interesting. I wouldn't buy it, but I mean, that's the most interesting stock someone's brought in here so far, so. But, well, they're only profitable on their third quarter here. I don't know if they're going to be profitable end of year. That's up for debate. It looks like it so far. But yeah, I wouldn't buy it, but out of every stock we've looked at so far, that's probably the most interesting one. DVLT? Never heard of it. You guys are bringing a lot of things I've never heard. Data Vault, AI, it's probably overvalued. 662 market cap, that's pretty small. It's already up 4x since September. I'm not even going to look at this. This is too small. Too small. Not interested. If I didn't try to time the market on gold, I'd be up 5K, but I'm not. Yep. You never put in enough when you try to time it. Trade Desk down, CarMax down. SoFi. SoFi's interesting. I don't mind SoFi. I liked it more, 15, 20 bucks, but SoFi has been crushing. QBTS and QUBT. Those are quantum stocks. Probably not interesting. Yeah. Up 20x. I'm not even going to look into that. Why do you guys like stocks that are up this much already? Like, don't you guys like actually making profit? Like, why do you want a stock that's already up fucking 20, 10, 20x? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why that's all people fucking look at. It makes 0 sense. Obviously, the gains already happened, so, like, what's the point of caring about a stock that's up 10, 20, 30x? I'd be curious if anyone had a good explanation of why people are interested in that, because it seems fucking ridiculous to invest in something like that. Seems absolutely ridiculous. What about Nike? They got a new CEO focusing back on centering their brand on their athletes, new design, rather than flooding the market with retro footwear. I think Nike's actually pretty interesting, especially with the new insider buys. You had Tim Cook buy, their CEO bought. I think Nike's actually really interesting around this price point. Obviously, I think it's up back at 68 or something. Oh no, it's at 63. Yeah, you would have wanted to buy this after the earnings when it was at like 60 bucks, but Nike is pretty interesting, especially with the insider buys. Usually when you see insiders buy like that on a stock like this, they're expecting something. So yeah, Nike's kind of interesting. But Nike's a real business, you know. Nike's a real business that's been around a long time. They make billions of dollars. Like, I don't know how wrong, you know. The market doesn't like it right now, but what does the future look like? To be determined. What do I think of Neo? I don't think of Neo. I think Neo had its moment. PayPal. Nobody talks about SMCI now. Yeah, not ever since they raised that debt. But I imagine the stock's not up. Yeah, the stock hasn't done shit since they raised that debt. Or did that corporate bond. So, you know, that's why nobody talks about it. You know, when it was back here and going straight up, everyone and their mom was obsessed with SMCI. But the stock stops moving a little bit. You know, it's so weird, bro. I just don't get it. I don't understand. What about Upstart? I don't think I've ever researched that. UPST. I know the ticker, but I don't think I've ever researched it. Oh, this looks like it could be compelling. Maybe. Doubled since last year. Let's see, 4.8 billion. So this could be compelling. Let's see. You know, I'm gonna do like 2 minutes of research. So how worthy is my, or how relevant is my opinion? Probably not that relevant, but the chart looks interesting. Looks like they're potentially going to be profitable this year. That's good. What the fuck is this? Oh, credit services. That makes sense. Gotcha. Stockholder equity is 2.9 billion. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad. Obviously, you know, you would have wanted to buy it last year at like $30, but that doesn't look terrible. Kind of interesting. Because it looks safe, you think? You think stocks that are up 10x look safe? I don't think so. I think people just FOMO in because they think it's going to go up more. I don't think it looks safe. I think people are just greedy and they don't see their account balance going up, so they have to YOLO into something to hope it goes up. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, I wish I understood. Neo's $4. I don't like Neo. Neo was a penny stock. Yeah, a few years ago, 6 years ago. But I also haven't researched Neo in a long time, but I can tell you I'm not interested in Neo. I don't even need to research it to know. Wolf for APLD, neither. Neither. Not interested in either. Nike at 55 is a buy for sure. I mean, Nike could be a buy at $60. That's where all the insiders are buying. You never know. VFC? I think I researched that not too long ago, but isn't it up a lot already? Oh, no. Not really. I do remember looking at it when it was like $10, though. I've researched this before, but it's been a while. Yeah, VSC is kind of interesting. A lot of debt, though. Yeah, that's my only complaint about VFC. They have a fuck ton of debt. But other than that, potentially it's decent. A fuck ton of debt and a fuck ton of expenses. But other than that, VFC is okay. I don't think I would like it at this price point. But, 2 minutes of research. How relevant is my opinion, really? ATOS. I've had since a penny stock, lots of insider buys. It's my second highest holding. APL is my highest. ATOS? I don't think I've heard of that. Therapeutics. Oh, it's a bio. Yeah, I don't like bios. I don't like bios. And 85 million market cap. That's too small. That's not even a company from my perspective. That's not even a company. We need a little bit large. Yeah, I would say 500 million is probably like the lowest I would go on market cap. But even that's pretty low. Adobe's okay. Nowhere is safe in the market. Maybe. Safe in Corey's channel from the market. LITM? Never heard of it. Snow Lake Resources? Did I type that in correctly? LITM? Yeah, too small. 67 million? That's a baby fucking company. Too baby. That's too baby. Who do you trust more, Tom Lee and his BMNR or Michael Saylor and his MSTR? I hate crypto, so neither. I don't like crypto. I was actually really upset when GameStop bought Bitcoin. Anyone who was here remembers. I was pretty upset when they bought Bitcoin, but yeah, I don't like crypto, so I don't like either of those things. Any company who's raising senior debt to buy Bitcoin, I think that's fucking dog shit. And I think crypto is probably potentially, I don't know, but I think crypto the next 5 to 10 years might be one of the greatest shorts ever. Maybe. I don't know. That's just an opinion because I see all these companies raising corporate debt to buy Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin doesn't go up, all those companies are absolutely fucked. So, yeah, I don't like crypto. Well, I don't mind Bitcoin, but any company raising corporate debt to buy Bitcoin, that's terrible. That's wild. Put schedule. Well, it's actually weed going into a schedule 1. It's already schedule 3. But just because they're putting that into Schedule 1 doesn't mean Tilray's a good business. Or any weed stock for that matter. Them changing it from Schedule 3 to Schedule 1 has nothing to do with business. ATO. Oh. So I don't really understand the hype around weed stocks because all the businesses are trash from what I remember. I don't think there's a single profitable weed stock or weed company. So them changing the schedule of the drug doesn't make a difference. I mean, this is at all-time highs, so I would imagine there's a lot better gas plays out there than this. But I don't know. I don't know. Serve? Isn't that the thing Nvidia bought shares of? Yeah, not interested. Just a hype stock. Just a hype stock. I think Tilray reports tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be streaming the earnings for Tilray. I'm curious to see, because I've just seen a lot of talk about weed stocks ever since that news got reported, so I'll be interested to see how many people actually come into the Tilray stream tomorrow, how hyped it actually is. Wall Street's expecting a 14% move. Yeah, we looked at it earlier. But I'll be streaming that tomorrow, so we'll check it out. Damn. Dude, we've almost streamed for 8 hours today. I think the stream in the morning was 4 hours, and now we're pushing 4 hours on this stream. We streamed 8 hours today. Holy shit. We haven't done that in a while, man. It's been a few months since we've streamed that much, I think. It's gonna be fun, weed. I'll be here, probably high too. The weed stocks. If you smoke the weed, the stock goes higher. If you smoke the weed, the stock will go high. I'm high, so the stock's gotta go high. That's how it works. Oh, man. Oh, man. What a good time. Fun stream today. Fun stream today. Does anyone got anything else? Does anyone got anything else? I think I'm about to get out of here. It's been a long day. It's been a long day of streaming, so if you guys got nothing else, I'm out of here. But I appreciate the people who stuck around. Thanks for kicking it, having some fun. I think and that was a good time. That was a fun stream. That was a fun stream. What do I think of Run? I don't know what you're asking. I don't know what you're asking. But I hope to see you guys again. I live stream whenever the markets open, usually more towards the end of the day, towards the close. I usually start the stream like an hour or two before the close of the US stock market, so yeah, whenever the market's open, I'm here. So I hope to see you guys again. It was good chilling with some of you guys. Oh, the ticker run? I don't think I know what that is. Oh, sun run? I don't like solar. I don't think solar's good. I don't like solar. I don't like solar. And none of those companies are profitable from what I remember. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys. Appreciate all the OGs. Thank you guys for always supporting the stream. For real. Ruben, much love, bro. Much love. You have a good rest of your night. Thanks to the people who stuck around. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully I see you guys again. Hopefully I see some of you guys again. We do these streams, like I said, whenever the market's open, so I hope to see you guys again. Hey, Marius, much love, bro. Thank you for always supporting the stream. Much love, bro. Congrats on your short. Congrats on your short. That was fire. That was a fire short. Azuzu! Yeah, make sure you guys hit the like button before you leave. Much love, Azuzu. Thanks for always supporting the stream, bro. I really appreciate it. The Hermo Silo, thanks for sticking around. Have a good one. Hopefully we see you again. Corvus, thank you, bro. Thank you, Corvus. Hopefully we see you again. Quesail Shakili, thank you. I appreciate you for stopping in. Hope to see you again. Thank you. For real, thank you guys. I love doing this. I love streaming, so, you know, the more the merrier. The more people in here asking questions and providing to the chat, it makes the stream all that much better. So, thank you guys, for real. And, yeah, but I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Tilray earnings. Should be fun. So, yeah. And that's overall a pretty interesting day. Ryan Cohen's compensation package, Larry Chang live, the smart brick technology. Man, there was so many interesting things today. So, really good stream. Thank you guys. And I'll see you tomorrow. God bless ya. Peace!